episode
3, bro.
Episode 3.
Or 3.5.
3.5, right?
3.5.
Yeah. A little snafu.
But we're back to it.
We got Wes back again.
Yes.
Well, first time for y'all, second time for us. We had a little snafu. It was video but not audio, and so we're back here, and this is like our first night podcast.
I love it, bro. I'm a night person. As soon as that night hits, I'm off to the races.
And
I could be dead tired all day. As soon as it comes down.
Yeah, and then we're back here in a couple days for the
Wolf of Wall Street.
guy.
Yes.
We'll
I'm
get
looking
into
forward to that one.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, he came up to me, Jim, said, "You have a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?" Like, I knew he did like Fed time stuff. I didn't know like what caused. You know what I mean? Like why he went.
Right, and it's crazy because like even people I work with that I didn't even know until I got into the new office. They're like, "Yo, I'll be scrolling. I saw you on my feed."
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. To
and
get
it's
that
like,
picked up.
yo, that's cool. That means the hashtags are where the algorithm's working, and the more we're consistent, the more it's gonna pop up.
And please like, subscribe, comment. For the love of God.
Like,
because we can see the
comment.
analytics, and it shows everybody's watching. People are watching. You just gotta subscribe. Just click that.
Yeah,
damn button,
and put the
please.
notifications on so you know something new is coming.
And like and comment. We need that engagement.
Right. So we got Wes here today, right?
Wesley, yes.
Yeah, we met Wes in the same treatment center I met Frank. We met him there, and he has a way of speaking that captivates you, and he has stories for days. I'm still thinking of some of the stuff you told me the other day.
I know.
Like, I can't wait until the viewers get to see this, man. It's gonna be awesome.
And he's our first guest. That's it. Popped our cherry.
And he's going to be, we discussed this, and we'll do a little bit of a different format, but we discussed it. He's also going to be our Marvel movie review companion.
Yes, like we got the Spider-Man trailer we got to talk about.
Right.
Dune 3, you see the Dune 3 trailer?
Oh,
Yes.
That chick is in it, Zendaya, right?
Yeah, she's in both. Wow, she's getting
in
paid.
all of
She's getting paid right now, good
She's
boy.
going to the top.
Yeah, man.
She's in a TV show too.
Euphoria.
Euphoria.
I heard of that. How is that?
She plays a drug addict and she does it great.
Yo, you know what I thought about? The Netflix fight with Rhonda, Gina,
Ronda
Francis, Nate Diaz is all fighting. Mike Perry. We should review that. Do like a fight night.
Cool.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Because the White House card is.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that, man.
Nah, bro. They had no Connor, no John Jones. They didn't want to pay. Now.
Yeah, John Jones. I was hoping he would have been in that.
No, it wasn't him, bro.
Well,
They didn't want to pay him.
but you know what it is? Like, Dana White doesn't really run it no more because he got bought out.
Yeah, but he's
runs
their
it,
he's their
right.
mouthpiece. Trust me. So
He's the
like,
face still.
yeah, listen. He's saying what they're saying behind the scenes. That's what people don't realize.
I mean, there was a lot of people. I saw some of Ronda Rousey talking about she was upset about it. There was a couple people that expressed they were upset about the card itself. But on top of that, I was reading that the fight event itself is going to be free. So that's cool.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
thank you, guys.
But yo,
Scouts.
listen, those I don't know if it's free as far as watching or it's free as far as going. But you know,
No, it's
if you watch
maybe.
UFC a lot, that it adds up, bro. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
they're losing a lot of money putting this event on.
Yeah,
But-
on top of that, I heard it was like a few mil just to replace the lawn when they're done. You know what I mean? Like they have to do
Listen,
a lot.
it's gonna be worth it for them. The
Oh,
spot,
absolutely. In the long run, yes.
They don't do nothing for free.
Oh, but
like they
yeah,
get paid.
yeah, well, it's going to be monumental. They've never had a fight on the south lawn of the White House.
No.
I don't know of any sporting event that's been
And it's cool because
like that.
I got my buddy Eddie. Shout out to you. That's why me and him started the Project Mayhem, but he, whatever, things happen. We did a couple audio, but he wants to come on. He does MMA, and he's got his other buddy, it's a pro fighter, and then we can have them on, too. He said we can do it at his place, too, because he's got a big couch. You can come, we'd all just do like a little, live stream.
I went to school with a boxer, Joe Smith. I went to school with him.
I know Joe Smith, but I doubt it's the same one.
He was going for a while, and he fought Bernard Hopkins, beat him.
Really?
Yeah,
Bingo.
but B-Hop it was a little bit after.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get to this.
Yes.
Wes, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. What's up? My name's Wes. I'm from Suffolk County, Long Island. Right. I come from a background in sales, project management, healthcare, operations. For years, I worked building, leading, and training teams in the fitness and construction industry. But my journey, hasn't been a straight line. Right. I've had some ups and downs.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to the program.
And I'm in the process of recovery. Which is helped reshape my work in life.
But also, you've been part of recovery for a while. Yes, you're like, even when we were in there, like a lot of guys would recognize you, guys and gals from, the rooms, and like that was cool. I was like, oh damn, Wes has been in this for a minute. Because listen, just because you have X amount of clean time, like we all been through it, and I've been in the room, for many, many years. Yeah, I've diverted part, but like I've been part of the program for a while. So like you can't get that back. You know what I mean? Like you all that time doesn't get erased.
Right. The only thing that changes is you cleaned it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Because I've seen like that whole loaded with the intent to recover. Like I heard that for years, and I didn't understand until this time when I started to do some work, right? And like when you're in the process of recovery for a little bit and you slip up, right? The thing I always hear is I stop calling my sponsor, stop going to meetings, stop doing work. I never did the work. I could tell you about it, but I never did it for me.
Right.
I thought it would work for you, but not for me, and now I'm a believer it works for me because I see God working in my life now. And I felt it ever since that place, ever since the treatment center we were at. You could tell God is present in that building. You know what I mean? From the staff to the speakers that come in. I mean, there's a couple schmucks, but more or less, the staff cares about you.
Yes, like me and Wes were talking on the ride to come pick up you. Like I was saying, if I would have went to Wellbridge, I was like, the food's better. But I was like, whoa. But then again, I wouldn't have got that experience. Met you, met him, and then this would all happen. So like everything is God's plan. I know I say that all the time now, but it's like, what? I've been praying 4 times a day. My prayer is I don't get on my knees and go like this. Do it while I'm driving. I do it while I'm working out. But, things have been working out in a certain way of events that shows me, okay, there's something greater than myself.
Well, it's that thing like life happens for you, not to you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it took a long time to learn that, right? Just because I stopped using drugs or drinking, I still bring me wherever I go. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And my disease will act out in other ways.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
especially if you don't have a solution.
So
you put it down, and now the girls come.
Right.
Your character defects start to...
Yeah. Earlier in life, I used to think, okay, I'd go away somewhere, I'd stop using, and everything would be back to normal. It wasn't, right? My disease would act out in all these other ways, crazy ways. So I had to learn that, I needed a program in my life. And for me, that was meetings, sponsors, step work, service.
So how did you get there?
It's a long story. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, let's start with, if you don't mind me, like, what was your first, the first moment you said, oh, I think I have a problem?
Yeah, so that was in South Beach, Miami, right? I graduated high school, and I didn't go to college, right? I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I had a neighbor that wanted to get away. So we picked South Beach. We got in the car and just drove there. We had no apartment. We showed up there and got an apartment the day we arrived.
That's cool.
And then we showed up at a job fair, and we got a job at both of us at American Airlines Arena, working for the Miami Heat, serving alcohol to celebrities, players' families, and anyone that sat courtside.
That's an awesome experience, too, because you get to see the game.
Especially at that age, too. Everything's just like, wow.
And whatnot.
I was 18, 19 years old. It was the year after. They just won the championship. So the first home game, they got their rings that I worked at.
That's cool, man.
It was a great experience. But I was drinking a lot. And, because we were underage, we needed to make friends with promoters to get into clubs, right? We also had this friend we worked with that was from the area that got us in. But after meeting these promoters, they were selling drugs. I started taking a lot of Xanax. And that was the first time I experienced physical withdrawals from drugs. One day I woke up, I didn't have it. I thought, okay, I don't have it. And I started experiencing withdrawals from Xanax. Shaking, mental insanity, going crazy, irritability, all that.
That's what I call the come to Jesus moment. Where you're like, oh, there's consequences to these partying. Like, there's some serious consequences. Until you're physically dependent. That's when the aha moment comes. You're like, oh. Wow, this is real now. This just got real.
That woke me up, and I'm like, okay, this is a problem. So I ended up moving back to New York. Okay. Right, not realizing the problem's going to stay with me. Right, I'm bringing myself wherever I go. And then I got a great job, but it was probably the worst job for a drug addict. Is I became a surgical assistant in an operating room.
Oh, you had your hands in the cookie jar then.
And as soon as the patient wakes up from surgery and goes into the recovery room, now I have access to all this fentanyl and ketamine. Oof. On top of that, getting prescriptions from physicians of whatever I want.
Yeah, of course. Now you become buddy. You kind of know their secrets. Every kind of one hand washes the other. Everybody gets like this little unspoken thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unspoken contract.
That's a good way of putting it. Yes.
Yeah, we helped each other out. Yeah, it was a crazy time in my life. I love the people I worked with there, but that's when my addiction started to get out of control. It started progressing, as you guys know.
Yep.
And another part of my story is tragic situations that happen in my life that I have no control over. I tend to blame myself for, and this started at the hospital. A long time ago, I threw a party the night De La Hoya fought Mayweather.
Okay.
And it was after the fight. It was late. We ran out of beer. I went to the gas station to get some more beer, and I see this beautiful girl there.
Mm-hmm.
And she was coming home from a concert.
Okay.
And we started talking, and she was from the town next over. And she actually knew some people from her town that were at my party.
Okay, so she felt comfortable to come
felt
over.
comfortable coming
That's somebody
back.
she just met, but just seeing me familiar people there.
Right.
Let me go try it.
So this is how
come
we
over.
met, and I ended up falling for her, and we started dating. And a little down the road, me and my boy pick her up from a house party, and we take her home. And she was drunk, and she wanted me to sleep over. And I was dating her. This wasn't a one-night stand.
Yeah.
This is someone I wanted to be with,
Yeah.
and I had not met her family yet. I didn't meet her father at the time, and I wasn't raised that way. So I ended up not sleeping over, and I went home, and I was actually on call that night at the hospital.
Okay.
And I go back home, I go to sleep, and I end up getting called in for an emergency. So I go in, I show up, I scrub in, and there are two guys laying on the operating room table, and they are in bad shape. I mean, there was general surgeons, neurovascular, orthopedic surgeons.
The whole
Every
works.
specialist was in that room trying to save these guys' lives. And I'm like, what happened? And next thing you know, I hear underage girl, drunk driver, hit and run. And my stomach just dropped. I knew it was
Your
her.
spider sense. I
Right.
call it the spider
crazy.
sense.
It's crazy, and that usually happens because looking back, would you say you were definitely in love with her? Because it usually happens like that. Intuition happens.
I would say at that time I was falling in love with her.
Okay.
Um,
Because intuition's weird.
yeah,
Bro, I have
I
it.
just
bro.
I dropped her off. She should have been asleep.
Yeah.
Right. I had no
shoulda-
idea she
yeah, I
went
know.
back out.
Right.
To go back to that party, and she's not an addict or an alcoholic. She made a mistake.
She just made a bad decision.
and she paid for it, right? She got a 6-5 split,
Oof.
and I stayed with her throughout that, and she stayed with me throughout my drug addiction until it got too much for her.
Yeah, she hit her threshold and she just had enough.
But the point I bring that up is that situation was out of my control.
Yeah.
But I tell myself, or I did for most of my life, that
If only.
if only I just stayed at her house that night, she would have never left. Those kids would have never got hit. She wouldn't have went to jail. All that. I know she doesn't blame me. So why
Yeah,
am
why
I
do you
blaming
blame yourself?
myself?
Yeah,
Right? And it's situations like that I dealt with. And I learned I need to speak about it, right? And get advice from people and talk to professionals. And that helped me get over that. But that was like a big tragic event that happened while I was working at the hospital.
Yeah, like I always say, I always think about, if I change this, I would do this, and I said, okay, it's like the butterfly effect. I wouldn't have a bag of kids. I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have that. And I don't have a DeLorean. I don't have access to the government's hidden technology. I can't go back in time, and I can't go into the future. I can worry about today and tomorrow.
You
That's
know,
it.
I used to say, my brother passed away from overdose, right?
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
And the date is coming up. It's actually the 28th of 2022, so that date's coming up, and I get feelings, right? But the day he died, usually my day would consist of, I would wake up, before I went to work, I would go and ask him for a cigarette, right? And then I'd go to work, come home, blah, blah, blah. I didn't ask him for a cigarette this day, you know what I mean? And then when I came home, come to find out he died. He was dead.
Oof.
And I think to myself, if only I asked him, if only I went to that door and knocked on the door, maybe I could have saved him. Because by the time he was found, he was there for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I used to kick myself in the ass all the time because of that. But I've learned that, that's one of the grieving comes in, there's 5 stages of it, and that's usually one of the stages is bartering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can relate.
Trying to change something. But then there's also if it was a split, we'd all be high. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. You know what I mean? We all got the what if moments, which is why, again, bringing it back to recovery, I think it always comes down to those 2 areas of acceptance and forgiveness, right? When you come through your life and you accept your life and accept everything you've been through, everything you've done to people, and then become willing to forgive those people, but also forgive yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
From there, you could operate from a new standpoint where none of that stuff bothers you no more, you know what I mean? But on top of that, you also, I always try, you know, grateful addicts don't use, right? You gotta try to find the gratitude. Like, she got a 6'5", she didn't die.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
Absolutely.
and also it's like,
Have you seen her since? Have you seen her recently?
Yeah.
or-
So we I mean, we dated for years after that.
Okay.
And we actually never spoke about that night.
Wow.
Right.
it's kind of like unspoken.
Because to her perception of it's probably completely different.
Yeah,
It's to where
she
you-
probably didn't
like-
think
like-
it affected you that
Oh,
much
but on top
because it
of
wasn't
that,
your
there's
thing.
not many people that are dating somebody that is going to be in that room, that's going to hear that call and be like, oh,
Yeah.
and
So
your stomach fall out from under.
yeah, so we dated for years after that. I went to see her every week in jail, and then she got out, and my addiction progressed, right? And she found out about it, and she stayed with me. I would try the detox at home method,
Oh man,
and she stuck with me through that. And even after we broke up and she had enough, we remained very, very good friends. And she supported me always, and I would talk to her on the phone, you know, throughout my life when I was in Florida trying to get sober, or New York, wherever I was. And then when I came into recovery, like, and got some real serious time, I made an amends to her.
Okay.
And I spoke with her, and I explained how I blamed myself for that night. And, you know, we had a beautiful conversation. I remember it like it was yesterday. And she ended the conversation, towards the end, she asked me if I ever cheated on her.
oh wow,
Right. And
since we're making amends, you want to tell me everything?
Yeah, to be
FYI?
honest, I didn't know the answer, right? So
Okay.
what I did is I said, listen, this is how the best I could do it. I was like, these are the people I was with, and this is how my room was set up. Because I would like move my bed to a certain corner, or my couch, or my TV. I would rearrange it. So I was like, if it was set up like this, I was with this person. And after, she was like, we were together throughout all of that. And she said, I never want to talk to you again.
Oof.
And that was the last time I spoke
Wow,
to her.
cold-blooded.
I mean, you got to respect it at the end of the
I mean,
day.
listen,
but that's
listen.
hard because, like, you know, it's like, you telling me, I mean, at least you got to tell your truth, though.
Right,
You know
and-
what I
and
mean?
listen,
you're responsible for the effort, not the outcome.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
you
I was
can't control
cleaning
that.
my side of the street.
Yeah.
And regardless of what she was going to say, I was okay with it.
Right.
Is that what I wanted? No.
No.
But I was okay with it.
Like I always say, all this thing defines who I am today. Like, yes, certain situations sucked, and it killed me at the time, but it made me the man I am today. And I wouldn't change as much as certain situations killed me. It still built my character for today.
Exactly. And looking back on it, like a lot of the women I was with when I was explaining it to her, it was before, like some of them, yes, during, but a lot of them before or after we were together. I didn't even reach back out to say, hey, that really wasn't true. So
The damage
you're
is
listening,
done, so I guess I'll be leaving.
wasn't all true.
That's why you get a little slide into the DM.
Yeah.
I
No,
was
she's-
watching
she's
you.
married now.
Listen, everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean?
100%. Maybe that's what she needed to hear to go on her path
Yeah,
to get married and find happiness.
started
or whatever,
everybody's
you know what I mean?
journey.
And
Absolutely.
it's not like you're too bent out of shit. You know what
No,
I mean?
listen, I was, whatever response she was going to give
You
me,
were
I
willing.
was okay with it.
Which that in and of itself is a wonderful place to be, because it's hard to get to that place that, you know, you're ready to, you make an amends and you don't know what the outcome is, and then, you know, you don't hear what you want to hear, and then you feel some type of way. But to be accepting and okay with whatever you hear, you cleaned your side of the street, mine's good.
That's all you can do,
It's
man.
fixing
That's all
your
you can
karma,
do.
man. You know what I mean? You've thrown it out there. It is what it is. So at this time, so that was like, it was around that moment, because you said you talked about the Xanax, you came, and then that moment happened. Were you going to meetings within this time?
So no,
or
I wasn't going to meetings yet.
Okay.
So I'm still working at the hospital. I end up getting a promotion. I become the purchasing coordinator for the operating room.
Okay.
So now it's my responsibility to order all the materials for the OR every morning, and then stock what needs to be replenished.
Okay.
And I end up getting a call to HR one day, and I honestly thought it was to sign paperwork for my raise.
Oh,
And
so you
I-
thought you were getting upgraded.
Yeah,
You
so,
got,
like,
so you
I-
got the promotion, you're working a little bit, and then like HR calls.
HR calls me to
Like,
the
oh, I'm getting
office.
that raise.
So I'm like, why else do they want to see me? It's probably to sign this
Happy.
paperwork. So
Yep.
I walk in there with a smile on my face. It's all good. I'm high as hell. And it's the director of the operating room and the director of human resources. And
Now, were you like, ooh, this is weird?
when I saw the director of the OR, I was just like, that's a little, like, what's going on here?
But you couldn't piece it together.
Right, I couldn't piece it together. And then now looking back, right, so my car was registered with the hospital. If I get called in for an emergency, I'm allowed to park illegally and they can't tow me.
Okay.
So if they never had my car on file, this wouldn't have happened. But I'm sure this happened for a reason.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. You could have got caught stealing something
Yes,
or
yes.
anything
That caused
happened.
some weight.
I could have died, like, who knows?
Yeah,
a million
yeah,
different things.
exactly.
A million different ways.
So they tell me that and they got an anonymous tip. Somebody called the hospital, reported my license plate, and said I was seen leaving a drug house.
Okay.
And at first, I was like, I couldn't put it together, and then it hit me because I used to leave work on my lunch break in my scrubs, in my OR hat. So
You looking like
I'm
the
coming
hospital.
I'm not only a hospital. I'm coming from an operating room. If you see what's
Right.
on my
Yeah,
hat.
and somebody maybe knew that and went, okay.
And I was copping, and I remember this kid's neighbor looking at me, staring at me with a pen and a pad, and he must have been writing my license plate down. He didn't know what hospital I worked at, so he must have called the
Found out.
local hospitals and all the surrounding towns, and yeah, they
That's
got
some
to the bottom
Karen-
of it.
That's some Karen shit to do, though. But I guess it did happen for a reason, and that's just, I mean,
But for all you know, you could have been the one operating. He didn't know if
Right,
you were a
and also-
doctor. It's this guy's all whacked out,
Yeah.
operating on people.
no,
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
it's
who
situations
knows?
because you know that if was a fifth, did you think, if only I wasn't wearing my scrubs?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. If I just, you're not even supposed to leave the hospital in scrubs. If I just changed in my street clothes, this never would have happened.
Yep, it was just been business as usual. But then I used to think that every time I got, when I caught my more serious charges, I was like, damn, if I would have just not did this or met with that person and, it's woulda, coulda, shoulda. You can't change the past.
So what happened from there? Is that like one of those places that you they offer help before they fire you?
Yes. So I couldn't leave the HR office until I dropped a urine and it was dirty. And I had opiates and I had marijuana in my system. I got a letter from a surgeon saying that I was seeing him on the outside, so they removed the opiates and now it's just THC. They can't fire you. They have to offer you help.
That makes sense.
So they sent me to an outpatient for an intake, and I downplayed my THC usage. I pretended like I didn't do anything else,
Right.
and I basically said I smoke here and there at parties, never by myself.
But your levels were probably crazy.
I didn't have that knowledge at the
Right.
time.
Yeah,
Like,
you were
I'm
just trying to
out of this.
get anything to buy you time to get through this.
And they tell me I have to go to outpatient for 6 months. And prior to this, right, this is my sick thinking. My brother had just had surgery, and he was at home with a catheter, and he had this like diaper.
Right.
So I'm looking at him, and I'm like, if I show up to outpatient intake with that diaper on, they can't drug test me, and I'll get out of this. That's my sick thinking. So I literally show up there with this on, and like I unbutton my pants, and I'm like, look, I have this diaper and a catheter on. I can't urinate for you right now. And she's looking at me like I have 3 heads. She
probably
doesn't know
like,
what
"What?
to do.
This is
This
a new one.
guy's sick.
Yeah, this guy's.
She ends up speaking with her boss, and they say, okay, you don't have to drop a urine, but I have to come back when this is off. And I'm like, oh, how am I going to get out of that one? And after they offered me the 6 months of outpatient, using drugs was more important than being a surgical assistant. That was my thinking. So
Insanity kicked in.
Yeah.
So I quit, and then that led me to my first treatment facility a few months down the road after that.
And it was a New York facility.
It was upstate New York. I wasn't ready. I still had a reservation, and
Okay.
the plan was, okay, it costs money for the candy store, it costs money for phones. I'm going to have as many people send me as much money as I can, and I'm going to use one more time when I get out.
Manipulate the situation to your advantage.
So that's what I did. And as we know, one is,
one is too many,
thousands never
Yep.
enough.
You
As
just-
soon
yeah,
as
you're
I
never
did that
satisfied.
one, I was off to the races all over
So
again.
what did you wait until you got enough for whatever it is you wanted and signed out, completed?
So they completed me, but I did leave early. Once
Okay.
I had enough money, I faked the tooth pain and
Okay.
said I needed to see a dentist, and they believed me. It was like a week early, so they completed me, and I showed up on my mother's doorstep, and she was white as a ghost because she wasn't expecting me. I didn't
Yeah,
give her a heads
But
up.
you
or
had the
anything.
completion.
Yep.
That's all that matters. And people, that's when you start getting the side eye. You're like, whoa, I completed. What do you mean? It's like, what is that? Piece of paper doesn't undo all the damage.
Right.
That's what we don't
Right.
think at the time. We
Right.
think this little piece of paper.
Right, like it's a college certificate. or
Yeah,
something,
exactly.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and you got to think, people don't realize a month is really nothing. In the grand
Right.
scheme, you're gone for a regular 28-day program. 28 days,
to
not
other
even a
people,
month.
But to us, it's a long time.
In there, because and plus you're going there at your lowest, so you're worried about everything out there. You're not going there on your high horse, and time is in the real world life is busy. In there, it's like You watch, it's like somebody just hit the pause button. As soon as you get out, it's like fast forward, and you're like, whoa.
Or it's played 2 times speed when you come.
Yeah, it's like when you get out of prison, you're like, what
Want
the
to play
hell?
catch up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, it's mind-boggling.
Which is like one of those hard things to do coming out of a treatment center is like not giving into that. I gotta catch up and just taking it slow, you know, and targeting one thing at a time, couple things at a time instead of trying to get everything back to.
And because we overwhelm ourselves, and
Right.
like I've been guilty of doing that, and you know what? I'm just enjoying it before I get too crazy. You know, enjoy the time you have to yourself. Before you know, you're back in the thick of things,
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like, oh my god, I would
How did
die
I
to have
get
that
here?
time again.
How'd I get here?
How'd I get here? But it's just, you know, like I always say, one day at a time.
So when you got out of this treatment center, you had the bright idea that you're gonna relapse. You fulfill your reservation. How long does the run last?
It probably lasts a couple years, maybe 1, 2, 3 years.
Okay.
Now, can I ask you guys 2 questions? Now, fast forward back then till now. Did your runs get shorter as you got older? Like, say back then you said you went a couple years. Now, in between runs, your runs get shorter? Because for me, it went
Yes.
from years to months to weeks.
Yes,
2 weeks.
They
I
got
was right
shorter
back,
because
yeah.
whether I got arrested or got
Right.
thrown out of a sober
Yeah.
house or got caught by something stopped
The
me.
progression gets real.
Right.
So I ended up inside and outside of inpatients, TCs, CRs, long term.
Yeah, you
short-term
just
detoxes,
you know, you
in
may
and
go to
out, in
one
and
every
out.
couple of years. Now that one's every year,
Yes.
and every 6 months, and it's
Exactly.
like you're like, what? How do I end up in this revolving door all of a sudden?
Exactly.
Right, and then like the willingness to want to go back to a place.
Oh.
Right, like that's hard. Like usually, what God does with me is He removes me and puts me in like the county jail or prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me to go to rehab is an easier, softer way, and to be able to mentally get past that. And like now, I can see like, well, might as well do it now. You know what I mean? And that's what I did this last time. I was like, you know, I did get arrested in my short. It was a short run.
Yeah, that's
I
what
got
I'm saying.
arrested.
So
New
short.
bail laws, they let you out. Now I'm on supervised release. You know, alcohol, narcotics conditions, and and I have the sick thinking that I could stop using opiates on my own. You know what I mean? I'll just buy methadone.
Yep.
I'll do this. I'll do that.
Yep.
And then it got. I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm gonna piss dirty. I'm gonna piss clean for this next court date. I'd rather look good. You know what I mean? So I go to the treatment center that I was just at, and you listen. I've been to a lot of treatment centers, never been there, and that has been the best treatment center.
You know what?
been to, for
It's
sure.
just, it's just like a different vibe there. You know what I mean? The staff, the people, like, I mean, look, I still have a clique from the time before us that
Right.
we all go to meetings and still talk, like, and those guys are doing good too, so they gotta be doing something right.
Well, speaking of, I mean, you know, even the people that work there, like, really care. Like Fred, shout out to Fred. Fred watches the podcast. He comments and stuff.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
James, the other
I would say
James.
what stood out for me is I felt like they treated me like I was family.
Yes, not-
they know you for
wholeheartedly.
years.
You know, I've
I
been
felt
there.
like
Well, I remember there was that day that I think it was Mel and James gave you like $20.
yeah,
right?
they gave me like
And
$12,
then-
$13.
And then it was something you went to give it back, and they're like, "No, keep it." Like, yo, that don't happen at a lot of places.
No, some
bro.
people treat it as like a business, which it is. Which I know you know about the body brokers.
Oh
thing.
yeah, that down.
You were in
they
Florida and
used-
Cali
they
with
used
that,
to
right?
do it all the time,
Yes.
bro. And or they'd even pay you for taking extra urines.
Yep.
They would charge the insurance company, or they would like pay you to go get high
Dude,
to go to another facility for PHP.
Yeah,
I said
PHP.
PHP, and then you would get paid for that. But they put a stop to that shit.
Dude, I remember being in Florida and people were getting kicked out and another facility would come pick you up. Over here, that does not happen.
Yeah, no.
They're not going to, oh, wait, you're at the best treatment center or whatever. They have one named that. And I'm here at blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll come pick you up. And it's so crazy. It gets so bad down there. The place you were at will hold your stuff for like 48 hours, 24 hours, whatever it is. And they will actually hold you. Dude, like, you know, Boynton Del Rey over there. I mean, West Palm Beach.
Palm.
Dude, there's like, you could throw a rock and hit a rehab. Like, you don't
Every
see that
corner,
out here.
every
Quick
corner.
story.
Yeah,
related to
exactly.
that.
That's what I was
When
leading
I
to,
was
segue
when I
into.
was in West Palm, I was dating this girl from New Jersey, and she was living in a co-ed sober house.
Yeah, that's another thing
Right.
that's
Oof.
crazy down there.
And her
That's
house
wild.
manager was paying you $500 to get high, and then he would give you. Then you would have to go to treatment.
Yep.
Stay for at least 2 weeks, and then when you leave, he would give you another $500 kickback. So he paid her $500 to get high. She got high while we were dating. went into detox with the drugs, overdosed, and died in the detox facility.
God.
And
You know
like that's the type of shit that was going on in Florida for a long time.
Sick. Yeah, I'm glad that they put a stop to it because that's really sick.
And when I was in
You know what I mean?
Florida,
You got people that are really trying to get help, and you know they got this itch. They got that monkey on their back. Here, go do it.
listen, I seen it so prevalent down there, and like it was crazy. I was in a PHP because they're like, try something different. You've never been there, right? So we're sitting there. This is like a little sidebar, but it just jolted my memory. I remember, listen, anytime this type of spirit or ghost, whatever you want to call it, I had a weird vibe. And I'm like, what is up with the living room? Like something just hair sticks my fucking neck. I'm sitting there. And I actually bought like an EMF reader that could test like what's it called?
Like ghosts.
Yeah, for ghosts, right? And I'm sitting. I kept getting hit on this like love seat. Like it was like almost like a lazy boy type gimmick couch. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Who died on the couch?
Right? So one of the TAs saying this kid Jacob, shout out to you, brother. Awesome dude. He was just, I'm like, yo, anybody ever die in here? I'm thinking he's like, nah. He's like, he's
on that couch, buddy.
he goes like this. He goes, yeah, we thought somebody must have brought some stuff in. Went on a pass, came back, fell asleep on the couch. Everybody thought he was sleeping for hours. It was like a Sunday, so there was nothing going on, no groups or anything. It was like a chill day Sunday. And he OD'd and died on the couch. Fast forward, there was a new TA working, right? And I'd be down there by myself watching movies. I would hear stuff. I'm like used to, I've dealt with that many times. This lady comes up, knocks on my door. I'm like, what's up? She's like, can you come downstairs? She must have heard me talking about it. She's like, something's wrong with this house. She's like, I've been hearing stuff all night. And then we were sitting there, and you just hear like the kitchen door, the cabinet go whoop, bang. It was like it wasn't hard, but bang.
Right.
She swear she quit 24 hours later. She was there for like a couple times and just quit.
She's out. She just got the.
And you could just tell when you go into it, you could just feel like it wasn't like a bad energy.
Listen,
it was
bro,
just an energy.
I
Right.
can't wait until May when we have the paranormal.
Or-
the paranormal ghost hunter.
And then
meet,
hearing about the
she-
exorcisms with Father
she's
Dan.
sort of chick, and I went to school with her. She's a medium, a
Oh, you-
psychic, and a paranormal investigator, and she goes all over. She's been to the place with Annabelle. Like she's been everywhere.
Really, like, I'm hoping
That's
she
cool.
give us a reading live. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And I think she might bring a friend. Shout out to you, Bianca. But also, I'm waiting on a day from this Catholic speaker organizer for Father Dan Rehill.
Oh,
which
that's
would
gonna be
great.
awesome.
It would be a Zoom podcast, but still, that's
Yes,
great
we're
because
gonna
his
do it,
stories
but
are
it's gonna
insane,
be
guys.
this guy has the craziest story.
Bro, he has and it's crazy because he's a Long Island guy.
Yes, he's a Long
which is
Island
super
guy.
cool.
Yeah.
And then he went to work in Wall Street for a while. He worked for like some banks, and then he became a priest, and now he's like the leading exorcist in the country. But he has stories of
can't
going to do exorcisms and seeing like bodies floating. You know what I mean? Like levitating and whatnot.
Listen,
like, spiritual warfare. Is
I
real.
had a demonic attachment. I don't know if I got when I was locked up.
Well,
and I went up.
Speaking of the text message you sent me the other day.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
That I got somebody sent me a ritual thing trying to mess with me. Certain people. It's called the Hecate ritual or something. I know that's the god. But anyway, I had quick side note. And we'll get back to West, but like, right. So fast forward, got back. This is after being locked up, going to a TC, getting right, and I told you the Ouija boy story in the house, right? So we were living here and then a house in Mastic. My ex-sister-in-law.
Good old Mastic.
Yeah, in this house, I remember being there with the dog. My ex-wife was gone for a week, and I didn't know at the time. She told if I was doing anything wrong, she said spirit to mess with me.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got a puppy. This is crazy, but I swear this is insane. And I had experience, but not this hard. So her nephew still went to school at William Floyd, so he would come home sometimes. So I'm sitting there with the puppy, and now all of a sudden I hear bang, bang, stomping, like aggressive stomping. I'm like, what is this kid doing? Why is he being a little shit? I'm like, whatever. And the dog is like attached to my leg. And now remember, the dog, anytime.
Dogs could see different fields.
Exactly. And anytime this would happen, like somebody show up to the door, UPS, but the dog would bark like crazy.
Right.
So I'm like, why is this weird? I go upstairs, I'm like, Joe. I'm like, what the hell? And as soon as I say that, the kitchen cabinet starts slamming. And then drawers opening, and I'm like, I never heard of that.
I'd be right out that
Yeah.
house.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
ain't
swear,
staying.
Hell no.
I swear, we slept in the car one night. We were bouncing around. We did not, every time I was in the house, because I was still selling pills. You know what I mean? So, like, it was, and then anyway, in this whole time
So you were
period,
doing something wrong in the spirit.
but I don't know what happened, but apparently I kept getting 104 fevers, like violently shaking, and we would go to urgent care, they would like run blood, nothing's wrong with
That
you.
could almost be like
Then I forget.
a possession trying to come in.
No, so it was. I was having blackouts. I was getting scratches, and so bad. And then I forget it was my ex-wife. Somebody who saw a medium was like, "Hey, he's got an attachment, demonic attachment. You have to take care of this. Like, it's like stop in the middle of the
take care
thing."
of
What's crazy is like when you go to things like that and you don't know. Are you trying to make a quick dollar?
No,
Or
because
you already knew what was going
No,
on with you.
I had no idea. This is before I knew. This wasn't there for. They didn't go for me. They weren't there to see a medium for their own thing. She was just like, wait, hold on. Like something must have. Whatever she got a signal was like, yo, just let him know something's wrong. Like, and I had to get like it was crazy. But like,
You know they have a
Ooh,
saying.
I got chills thinking about
They
it.
have a say, like I saw something that they were talking about. If you see like chicks that have a butterfly
tattoo, yep.
right? It means that they're possessed, right?
never
Because
heard that
chicks with a butterfly tattoo tend to be a little bit more sexually promiscuous and whatnot, and it's the way when they come into this realm, it's the way they recognize each other, and that's the tattoo they get. You know what I mean? How true it is, I don't know, but think about every chick you know that has a butterfly tattoo. You know, that
Listen,
that might speak for
listen, the
itself.
spiritual side, yeah, like it's insane. Like I can't wait till we get episodes on that.
Oh,
like,
dude, it's gonna get
like
crazy.
lucid dream or astral projecting. We want to go over. We may have somebody, right?
There's that chick Joanne that we were into. You remember Joanne?
Yes.
The older lady.
Yes,
She
very
can
nice.
teach us all. She was
That's
great.
awesome.
She was awesome.
She can teach us all about lucid
I
dreaming.
can't wait.
And she's another shout out to you, Joanne. She
Shout
watches the
out, Joanne.
podcast all the time. Comments.
Yes,
Does
I
a
saw.
lot-
I
a
saw.
lot of
I saw.
comments.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Comes
Look,
back.
we love the support.
Like,
Anybody
shout,
gets the support.
Shout out to Kenny. Kenny watches it. Eric
Yes, Kenny,
watches
bro. Nighttime cleaning crew.
Listen, real quick while we're in the middle of shout outs, like what barbers y'all go to? Like shout out to Mikey from
Shout
Emma
out
Styles.
to Ben, Dan, Oscar, Jack, and OJ's barbershop.
Damn, you got that much barbers?
No.
Oh.
Ben and Dan cut my
I
hair.
gotta be cheating.
Oscar and Jack, I know forever. It's just they're all in the same shop.
Okay.
So it's got
Shout
to
out-
Oscar and Jack.
Shout out to Willie from NY Dominican Barbershop in Riverhead.
That's it.
Okay, listen. I mean, what's cool about that? Because you met Mikey, you met my barber.
Yeah.
Like shout out, yo guys, if you guys want a good burger, go to Burger Check
Oh, that place
right
is
here on
bang,
112. It's phenomenal.
Should we give Sports Plaza a shout out, even though they didn't hook me up last time?
Sports Plaza, shout out to y'all.
Hook me up. I spent money.
I mean,
Hook me up those
yeah,
purple Jordans, bro.
We need to sponsor. I gotta bring the Red Bull for Saturday.
Oh, Gatorade sponsor. Red Bull not here. I was
no,
drinking
you
in the
wanna
car.
do this, right?
Quest
Protein chips.
Protein chips. I spend way too much money on this.
Bring it right to the camera.
Look at this. Feed these muscles,
I know
bro.
you look like a beast today, bro. You
Dude,
look like
I'm
you
getting
ate
there.
somebody.
Fresh the
Listen,
tank.
episode by episode 10, I'm gonna be 20 pounds. I'm gonna look like I'm cut out of stone.
That's crazy. I never been like a up.
And
guy.
yes, I
push
do.
ups,
Wait,
can
hold on.
Sit down,
Yeah,
lay
Because I know
down.
this is gonna happen in comments. Yeah, I do use anabolic steroids. Don't care. Do it. If you do it right, there's no problems. Because everybody, there was a picture on Facebook, somebody put in a
Listen.
group, and they were like, "Oh, you know, everybody's talking smack."
That's at
What do you do
Mr.
to my
19.
face?
That's at Mr. 1987, guys.
Yep.
Is it Mr. or is it the real?
The real Mr. Oh, hold on. To the phone. We have phones. I forgot we have phones here.
Yeah, I mean, also at the end of it, if you got a social media, shout out to
Yeah,
your social
shout out.
media. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
people
yeah.
can follow you.
Shout out Hot. Oh, okay. Wait. Nope. Sorry, I had a message. All right. Hot Water Record Studio.
It's right here on the mic,
Yes,
bro.
on the studio. No. I had a message that came
Oh,
through.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Hot Water Records.
Yeah,
man.
sorry, I like a break.
That's where we're at right now.
Oh,
and
that was on our page. Oops.
so all right. So get back to it. So now you had quit the spot, right? You're on this little run. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You go back to Florida, right?
Yes. Yeah, what brings me there to Florida, right? So,
And not back to West Palm.
no, so
Oh no, you went to Miami the first time. Now you're going to West Palm.
Miami was when I was like 18, 19. And then, yeah, I quit the hospital, in and out of detoxes, TC, CRs, inpatients all in New York. And then I remember it was Thanksgiving weekend. I'm at my family's vacation house. And
Where was that at?
It's in Spring Lake, New Jersey.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Beautiful town. And I know it's like a known fact, right? My uncle bought my aunt a $250,000 diamond for their 20th anniversary.
What? What does he do?
And you're still
He's in
using
the
it.
finance world.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You're
he
still
make it-
using.
Hedge funds. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing
So,
big.
So that's like
I'm
a lick.
still using.
That's a lick.
And I'm in their bathroom, right? Because they have this sick bathroom jacuzzi, the shower. It's insane. And I see the ring.
Oh my
Got a
God.
chub.
And I knew that, like, I'm going home and I don't have money and I'm going to have to think of something. So I take it. And I get home.
Yeah.
And I remember I spoke to, like, a local jeweler about it. And it was worth more than what he paid because of the rarity of the diamond.
Oh,
and,
man.
and he was like, the only place you could go is the diamond district.
Yeah, because nobody's
right?
gonna have that cash on
No,
hand for you,
right.
unless you want to get like
and
real
I didn't even
low
know
ball.
what I was like. Honestly, in my mind, that when I heard it was worth more than $250,000, what I thought is, okay, I could sell this. This is what I'm thinking. I could sell this. I could buy a year's worth of heroin. I could rent a little plane and I could fly somewhere and get high and never talk to my family
Dun,
again.
dun,
Like
dun,
that's
dun,
what's in my
dun,
head.
dun,
Like,
dun,
okay,
dun,
I'll never talk to my family again, but I'll have all this.
I'll hit
heroin.
the restart button.
Yo,
New life.
Speaking of the Diamond District,
I'll pay him back in the mail
yo,
one
speaking
day.
of the Diamond District, you know what would be really cool to have on?
Oh.
Tracks.
Who's that?
Tracks NYC.
Yeah, I know Tracks. Yeah,
Shout
Why
out
does
to
that sound
you,
familiar?
Tracks.
You've
Bro,
seen them on
you
YouTube.
definitely seen
You've
him,
seen them.
bro. He's in the Diamond
Maybe.
District.
he just got in
He's big
that
on it.
fight in the Diamond District.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. He got into someone's
Yeah,
face. It was
he's-
pretty wild.
I was never a jewelry guy, bro. I'm a tattoo guy, not a jewelry guy.
Yeah, and then he's with and then Benny the jeweler always be like Mazzalito.
Oh, I seen Benny. Yeah, I know he
Yeah,
is
those
that
guys are
accent.
funny.
Hell yeah, yeah. Tracks, come on the podcast, man. We're right here on Long Island. You're not too far, bro.
Yeah.
So I take
okay.
that diamond
And you go to you make it to the Diamond District.
No, I don't. I never make it to the
West
diamond.
went, no.
No. So I'm at my house, and not long after they realize it's missing.
Right.
And it's insured, so he calls the police.
Oh.
And he calls my mother, thinking it was me. My cousin saw me in the bathroom.
Oh, the gig is
And
up.
That he gets on the phone with me, and I remember him saying, "Wes, this is as much as a house. Like if you have it, just let me know." And I'm denying it, and my mother is like, trying to comfort me, and she's just like, "It's gonna be okay. Like just like let us know if you have it."
Yeah.
And I took it out of my pocket, and like my mom's showing me all this love, and as soon as I give it to her, she's like, "You gotta go."
Oh.
Right? That tough love, which is what I
Listen,
needed.
yeah.
But that started me.
Because listen, that kind of money, you probably would have been dead.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
You're definitely not hopping on that little plane and bringing
And
it
listen,
to bringing it to Jeffrey's Island.
It's just insane thing.
Right.
And I don't care about. Listen, that's a big hit. Where to get family back after that hit would have been hard.
Well, what ends up happening is I go to inpatient. He comes there from out of state to visit me and shares that story in front of everybody.
Really? Wait, did he do it to be like a little?
No,
jab?
no, supportively.
Oh,
Like,
that's awesome.
This is
Awesome.
what happened, and I'm here driving out of state
but-
to support you.
That's
because
so
I love
cool,
you.
man.
On top of that, it shows that your morality wasn't that gone that you were able to be like, here it is.
Yeah,
Instead of denying it and helping them look for it.
Maybe subconsciously it was probably a cry for help.
Right.
Yeah, because
right.
I've done that before where I was just so burnt and so done with it. I put myself in a situation I knew was going to jam me up just to get the help. Because like I didn't want it, but I said, all right, if I keep hitting these rock bottoms, I'm going to put myself in a situation where they're going to force me to get help.
I have a question before we go any further. Have you because I feel like we all don't pick up drugs just because of strictly peer pressure. It's usually we're uncomfortable in our own skin in some way, form, or fashion. Have you tried to dig through that hole and get to the nucleus of what made you pick up the first time?
Yeah, so I mean, the first time I think I just wanted to fit in, right? When I just smoking weed and drinking as a young kid.
And then
but
you feel the euphoria.
to get down to the nucleus of it,
That's a good word.
my
Nucleus.
Yeah, it is. I like that
Yeah,
word.
I like it.
My grandfather played professional baseball,
Okay.
and my father, as good of an athlete as he was, he never made it. So he basically tried to live vicariously through me, right? Kind of raised me to be a professional athlete, but I became a professional drug addict.
Right.
But
So
he demanded perfection.
Okay.
And it's
And
unobtainable.
in my eyes, right? Not only none of us are perfect, but in my eyes, anything I ever did was
Wasn't
never good enough, and I internalized that and ended up hating
feel
myself.
Like I'm not good enough.
And I hated myself. And when I first picked up drugs, it numbed those uncomfortable feelings, let me get out of my own skin, and let me escape.
Okay.
So that's kind of what
That makes sense.
led me to that.
You know what I thought of when he was just saying that?
What?
When you said your father didn't have the makings. I thought of The Sopranos. You ever see The Sopranos? When Junior's like,
never watched it.
Oh,
I've watched it. I watched it in real time.
Junior always says Anthony never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Yes.
You remember that? That's what I thought of. All right, so that makes sense. Not feeling good.
We all have
so you
different-
want to try to.
Now, let me ask you
use
guys-
an outside thing to try to fix it.
I want-
internal
I
problem.
want to ask a question for both of you because I know because I just brainstorm. Like when I like the first time I did Viking. You know why? It sounds stupid. It was I remember having the Eminem Slim Shady LP with the Vikings. You got Vikings, ring, ring,
Yep,
ring.
I remember
With
that.
like, dude, I remember saying that or Ecstasy. I remember ninth grade sitting in the bathroom.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. That's the first time I tried PCP. I tried it because Joe Budden was a dust head.
Yes, that's right. But like, I remember the song "Drug Ballad" by Eminem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So what's it called? I remember.
Keith Murray's another dust head too.
Is
The whole Woo at one point was smoking wet.
And like, this is crazy because I don't even know how I pulled this off. I'm sitting in the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, and there's a couple older kids in there, and this is freshman year, right in the bathroom. First week of school, right? And all of a sudden, someone's like, "Yo." I'm like, what are you guys doing? They had like a Ziploc bag with a bunch of broken pills at the bottom. They're like, yo, this is ecstasy. I'm like, oh. I'm like, yo, I remember like, yo, it's like a party, everybody feel good. Bad Boys had it. I don't know if that came out, actually. This was like 2002,
Yo,
2001.
The crash from that, like Molly too, bro.
But yo, but see, this is I don't know how I didn't overdose, right? So it was, I thought they said just take a piece. The whole bag, dude, it was, I don't know how many triple stacks were broken up. I went this. Ooh.
Oh, God.
And before they could be like, they're like, oh my God, what did you just do? I'm like, what? They're like, oh, I see them like this. I'm like, what? What the hell? What's wrong? I'm like, oh.
And that don't help the trip.
No. Listen, back then, I didn't care about anything. I was like, oh, I never had them. Like, I got one over on them. Right? So all of a sudden, I'm like, nah, I'll be all right. Right? I walk out. I'm walking in the hallway. I'm like, it was like at a movie. I was like, oh my God. I'm down in Gatorade. I'm like, ooh. Bro, they look at me. You couldn't even see the blue in my eyes.
No,
They're like this. They're like, yo,
demon.
you got to get out of here. We're going to take you back to blah, blah, blah's house. We're going to smoke some bud.
Don't drink no orange juice.
Bro, I don't know how I went the day. Dude, it was just like, let's take exit at like 8 o'clock in the morning in high school. Like, what the was I thinking? But like in music and stuff, movies.
It feels good, bro.
Yeah,
you
it's
just take a shower, like pool on that
everything,
shit.
yeah.
But it's the crash that like you get real depressed.
See, but you know what? I would do that, but I would take a little, Valium, to come down.
Balance it out.
Yeah, balance it out. It's to balance it out.
There's always the peanut butter and jelly thing.
Oh, that was my thing. Peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, if I gotta go up, I gotta go down.
White and opiates. White and opiates. Yeah. All right. So now you're in this treatment center, right?
Yeah, I go from that treatment center to a long term, and then from there I jump on a plane and go to a sober house in West Palm Beach, and that's how I ended.
Okay, so that's right. You went back to Florida.
And you went there with some people that you were in the
yeah,
long-term
so I was
right?
in this long-term program upstate, and I met these great guys, and we're there together for months. So we developed these great relationships.
Right.
We got
Trying
close.
to figure out where we're gonna go after.
Right.
And plus, you get to really know people when you spend
Yeah.
all day, all night, like how we did, bro. We
We were up to like 2, 3 in the
yeah, I
morning.
know. Like you were one of the guys. Like I kick it with very few. I talk to everybody, but it's a very limited guys I click it with. You know what I mean? You were one. Like we spent all day, all night. Through the good days, bad days. You really in that 28 days you get to really know people.
And this is 4 or 5 months of knowing them.
That's
right?
even
so
crazier.
It's long term. So we build these great relationships, and we all decide to go to sober living in Florida, and we go from that facility to the airport after 4 or 5 months of not seeing a girl.
Right.
Imagine how we're acting.
And then
up.
you go and you
and
see all these.
Now we're on a plane.
And you go to Florida, no
and
less.
out in the
What
real
time?
world.
Is it springtime, summertime, wintertime?
This was wintertime in New York, but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
in Florida.
so you're-
Yeah, bro.
Off the
Yeah,
races.
bro. That is like I said. That's when we were doing episode 3, now 3.5.
Yeah.
It's culture shock when you go down there and you could go to the beach on Christmas.
Yeah.
You could see Christmas lights on palm trees.
It's so weird. It's
very
Cali was
weird.
the same way. It was just like
I never got used to it. It
You know
just
what I
didn't
mean?
feel
But
right.
I can imagine how people are down there and when they come up here and they get snow.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
and plus we're much more fast paced up here. They can't handle
dude,
us down there.
You go to Publix, they read the ingredients of the things you buy and then scan it.
Dude, I'm
it's
like-
real slow down there.
Oh man, just like we're like on the go. Like we move. Like down there, everybody's like in slow motion. I'm just want to be like pushing people out of the way. Like, come on, let's go.
All right, so you make it down there and you go to a sober living.
I go to sober living in West Palm Beach, and I still didn't want it. Right,
Okay.
the seed was definitely planted, but I had no program. So I put together a couple months and then relapse. And down in Florida, I was introduced to Dilaudid, and it made me feel like I fell in love with opiates all over again.
It's a strong one too.
Yes. So I that's what I started doing, and next thing you know, I'm on the streets, going from sober house to sober house, getting kicked out,
Doing the Florida shuffle.
doing the Florida shuffle. And what I ended up doing is I started calling my father, and I would change my voice up. And I would pretend like I was the house manager, and I just got kicked out of this sober house, and I would tell my dad, oh, you got to go to 5 meetings a week, you need a sponsor, you need to do step work, curfews 11 on the weekdays, 12 on the weekends, and enforce all these rules. And then my father started telling me about myself, how manipulative,
I must be
sneaky
jarring.
I am, right? And I'm just listening, and then I would make him get out of bed at 9 o'clock at night and go to Western Union to send me 1 month's rent and 1 month's security. And he'd be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And I'd explain how I let kids in my house and their, families tell me that.
Salesman.
And then next thing they don't send me the money, and now the kid's in my house. And he would get up and do it.
Wow.
And I mean, that's a testament of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, listen, they didn't know
real
what to do with me, but
Right.
they loved me and they supported
And
me.
plus, when you're in a
and-
place like that, they know you're safe.
Right.
So they're
Right.
like willing to go to the
dude,
extra limits.
I remember when my mom, like the first time I was in jail, and like one of the times, and I'm like, Mom, come back me. She's like, hell no, I know where you at.
Yeah, that's when they could finally sleep.
You gotta,
Right.
you're in the warm, you're in the shelter, you got meals, like then, like, they know they come visit you, like, you're in a stationary place, there's no getting out,
Right.
Very comforting for them.
So I went from sober house to sober house, and I burned all my bridges, and now I'm sleeping on people's couches that would have me.
Right.
And it got to a point where I started going to like a known drug spot, right? I would shower, shave, and dress up to pretend like I wanted weight, right? To buy a couple 100 grams, get in a car, being with people I had no business being around, into neighborhoods I had no business being in.
They don't play down there.
And then I would look for a sample when they're thinking I'm buying 100, 200 grams.
Oh, that could have went south.
That
real
could have been
fast.
south real bad.
Somebody would,
So I would do stuff like that. And
Okay, so you you're playing it as if you're gonna buy some weight.
Yes.
And then when you go to get weight, look.
I
let me
need
see.
I need a sample first. I need to have someone try it because I'm not a drug addict.
Yeah.
But I have people that will
Oh,
try it and
okay,
let me know how
that's
good
even
it is.
smarter because now it's like it's not for me. I
Yes.
gotta have my people try it to make sure you guys are selling quality.
And that
products.
worked a couple times, and I almost got killed one time.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
flipped out.
Listen,
for
when I used to
wasting
sell
their time.
drugs, you kept coming to me. Eventually, I'm gonna have you zip tied in my trunk
Exactly.
for playing games with me.
So I was doing stuff like that, and I remember I'm staying on someone's couch, and I was calling people from back home and making up stories, right? I'd be like, I'd pretend like I got someone pregnant and I need money for an abortion, and I'd get money sent to me. And I ended up calling a good close friend of mine who sold a lot of drugs and made a lot of money, and I knew he had it. And it was a Thursday. He said, I'll send it to me on Saturday. And then Friday came, and I was sick. So I just shot him a text. Anyway, you could send that to me today. And that text, he knew right then and there I was getting high.
Yeah.
So he called my father, told my father. My father reached out to our other friend who was living in Port St. Lucie. And this was a close friend of mine growing up. He got into drugs a lot earlier than I did. So we kind of parted ways. And then I got into drugs when he got clean. So he had several years clean at the time. He ends up getting in his car, going to West Palm Beach, and he finds me. Throws me in his car.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
That probably took him a while.
Yeah.
And you know what? That had to be a little bit of God intervention to
Yeah,
find you.
absolutely.
West Palm Beach is huge, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of homeless people, a lot of people running around.
You know-
on top of that, whether you're in a house, out of house,
Yeah.
what block you're on.
Yeah, like, that's insane.
Saves my life. And right before
Shout
that
out to that
happened,
man.
The dude, God rest his soul, he's not with us
Oh,
today.
oh,
Yeah.
even.
But yeah, shout out to him, man. Like, he saved my life.
Yeah, man. We wouldn't have you here sitting today. You know what I mean?
And right before that happened, the kid's house I was staying at, I went through his mail, I got his social security card, I hacked into his email, and I started sending his money to me. And he's letting me stay on his couch. I ended up telling that story when I spoke.
You were like, you would get close to people.
Yeah.
When
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, in sober houses, I would talk to people at night, get to know them. Oh, you got married? When'd you get married? You played baseball? What was your number? Oh, you have kids? When were they born? Right? Oh, just like getting all this information from you. I'd write it down, and then when you go to sleep, something you told me was your PIN number. And I'd go in your wallet, I'd take your debit card out, I'd go to a gas station and withdraw what I could. And then I'd put it back and then try to help you figure out what happened the next day. I was sleeping above you. Couldn't have been me.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean,
I would do stuff like that. But when my friend saved me and put me in that car, he drove me to Port St. Lucie. He threw me on his couch in his condo. Then he got me into a detox, got me scholarship to sober living, and I was doing okay for a few months. But again, I wasn't ready. I wasn't going to meetings. I had no program. I was bringing me wherever I went.
Right.
And I relapsed again. And that's when I ended up in the psych ward.
The story
All right,
has
guys.
begun.
Guys, this story is a story of epic proportions.
Yes, this is crazy. This just shows the insanity.
This really shows the insanity of addiction, right? Because addiction is really what you have when the drugs are gone.
Yeah.
What you're stuck with. Without a solution, you still got this thinking that runs rampant. So now, you get Baker acted, end up in the psych.
No.
No,
So
no.
I was there voluntarily. Everyone else was Baker
because,
acted.
because you tried to get into.
so-
you tried to go to.
I'll break it down.
Yeah.
So I go to a hospital in Port St. Lucie. I did my last dilaudid, and I'm like, all right, if I say something, make up an excuse, I could get some painkillers. And they run some tests, and they realize what I'm saying isn't true. And the nurse had some compassion, so he comes into the emergency room where I was, and he's like, listen, he had a family member that suffered from addiction, and he's like, there is another hospital down the road that, and I didn't have private insurance at the time, so he's like, you're gonna have to say that you're gonna kill yourself, and they'll admit you into the psych ward, and they have the detox medication that you need to come off of what you're on. So I said, okay. And I walked to that hospital, and I caused a scene, pretended like I was going to kill myself. Next thing you know, I woke up on the psych ward. And I loved it. Right? 3 meals a day, a nice warm bed. They had a little TV.
Yeah, a
room.
little
You
medicine.
were probably up for a couple days.
Yeah, I was on the
Run.
streets running.
Yeah,
right?
so like
Now-
you're here,
now
you
can
get
sleep.
You get some nice
And
medication.
not have to worry about, hey, Wes, time to get off the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this place was great, and I'm just like loving it. And everyone else there was Baker acted, and I would see guys come in and they were going crazy, and they would get hit with this shot, and I'm like, what is that? And that's when someone explained what Thorazine was, and I'm like, I just got to act like that, and I get that. So that's what I would do. I'd act like a lunatic. They'd hit me with Thorazine, and I'd be out. And it was just insane, right? The behaviors and the things we do.
Right.
And I'll never forget one day I'm hanging out at the coloring table, right? Coloring, and this beautiful girl walks in, and not just psych ward beautiful. She was like a 10 in the streets.
Yeah, she was.
Well, that's another thing about Florida. It's like the ugly chicks can't come out. Like, everybody in Florida is beautiful. It's weird.
Well, because you got to think it's warm weather, a lot of gyms down
women
there.
want to look good.
Yeah, and
if
of
you're
course,
fat,
you don't
want
wanna
to
look-
go on the street because there's nothing but dimes out. All right, so you fall in love.
So yeah, I fall in love with her, and she was like 15 years older than me. She was a mother of 4, and she's telling me what happened to her. She was having an affair with her personal trainer. Her husband set up a camera in the bedroom, recorded the affair, and showed it to her parents.
Oh God!
And she had a mental breakdown and got Baker acted. So she is got a lot of stuff going on. That she needs to
batshit
work
crazy,
through.
more or less.
The last thing she needs is someone like me.
Yeah.
But we fall in love, right? We're gonna help each other out. We're gonna move into an apartment together. We start making all these plans, and I'm thinking it's a good idea. You know what? I was homeless. My mom's probably worried about me. Let me give her an update. So I give her a call and I said, hey, Mom, it's Wes. I just want to let you know that I'm not homeless anymore. Everything's good. I'm in a psych ward and I met this girl and we're falling in love. We're going to get an apartment. Everything's going to be great. She's got 4 kids. What could go wrong?
Your mother on the other end is like,
She's probably like this.
Can you imagine?
She's probably music phone.
Can you imagine what she thought? And like, I thought that was a good idea.
yeah, let me give her the update. I'm not in the streets getting high no more.
I'm in the psych ward.
Yeah.
And now I met a girl in the psych ward
Yes.
that I'm going to get married to.
Yes. And one night she comes into my room and they do bed checks like every 15 minutes.
Yeah, to
in
make
the
sure
psych
nothing.
ward.
You're not.
She'll think you could get a quickie in.
We
Yeah.
get caught, and it's this whole big thing, and they're coming to me. They want to get the police involved because they think she took advantage of me, right? We're in a psych ward. We're heavily medicated, and she comes into my room. And I'm like, no, what are you talking? This is my girlfriend, right?
We're getting married.
Someone
What are you
I've known
talking
for
about?
72 hours, right?
Right.
We're getting married, making all these plans.
So now that staff is probably like, yo, he definitely belongs
So
here.
Oh
It's-
yeah,
absolutely.
All right, if he did it, now he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this whole big thing, and then management comes down the next day, and they're trying to move me to a different part of the hospital. They want to separate us, obviously.
Right.
And I am not having it. I'm not taking me away from my girlfriend. I'm causing a scene. I'm putting up a fight, and then next thing you know, they just move her. and I'm just like sitting there.
Didn't see
I
that one
didn't see
coming.
that coming.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
They threw a curveball right into
So now the
your
love of
game
my
plan.
life is gone. My heart is broken, and then I meet this guy Carl. This guy's like 80 years old. Another guy, Baker acted in the psych ward. And this is what Carl's telling me. He goes, I live in Miami. I said, oh, I used to live in Miami. I'm familiar with the area. He goes, I have a spare bedroom where I live. I could get you a job as a security guard. I have this is when marijuana was illegal. So it was like, I have weed for my glaucoma. I have Xanax for my anxiety. And I have Percocet.
He's got everything.
Everything that you need, Wes.
Everything that I
Carl's
need
got
and
for
that I
you.
want. And I believed every word he said.
It makes you think,
Right.
what did he really want to do with you?
Yeah.
Could you imagine what this guy really wanted to do with me?
Oh my God.
And I believed everything that was coming out of his mouth. So I said, oh, hold on, I got to update my mom. So I picked up the phone and I called my mother.
Listen, change of plans.
Yeah.
And I said,
We're not
Mom,
getting married.
Exactly. Change of plans. You know, that girl, she's no longer here. But I met this guy, Carl. This guy's really nice. He's got a spare bedroom and can get me a job as a security guard. Didn't tell her about the drugs.
Right,
But
right,
I'm like,
right.
everything's going to be okay. And throughout that whole time, my friend that was in Port St. Lucie that helped save my life, he's still in the picture. And he's telling me throughout this whole stay. I was there in the psych ward for 21 days. Everyone
so you're
else
throwing a tantrum every 3 days.
they would try to kick everyone's Baker Act. You're there 3 to 5 days.
Everybody's trying to get out. You're trying to stay in.
So every time they went to kick me out, I would cause a scene, pretend to kill myself, and start it all over again. So I tell him about Carl, and he's telling me how sick I am. No, you're not doing that. And then the day actually comes where Carl's friend comes to pick him up. He's leaving, and I pack my bags, and I'm like, let's go. And he stopped it from happening. I was getting in that car.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, yo, who knows? He could have been a serial killer. He could have chopped you up and ate you for all you know. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Advantage of you, anything, man.
Who knows?
Yeah, it could have led to a million. Dude,
Million different.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to a psych ward?
I've been to CPAP here. I never. But
I swear it was like, what was that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? Shutter
Shutter
Island.
Island.
That was
Bro,
a good
I don't
movie,
know
too.
what happened, if I got to argue with the
Like
cops.
New Brunswick or
I think
something?
no. I don't remember, bro. This is so crazy. So the cops, I pulled the fast one again. They were trying to lock me up, and I had the prescriptions, and I kept getting. And they knew what I was doing. They just couldn't get me. I also didn't know BSO had a Bureau of Special Operations in Nassau. They told them back off. So they're like, okay, well, you wanted to kill yourself. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? They're like, oh, boom. To psych ward we go. I get in there. I was somewhere in Nassau. It was such a blur. I remember sitting there. I go in like wherever I guess you get your snacks and stuff. And this kid's like starts like yelling at me about the TV. I'm like, what the? I'm like, he's talking to me. He runs over. I like throw him to the ground. I'm about to hit him, and somebody just comes up, hits me.
Booty juice.
Boom.
Booty
I
juice.
wake up strapped to a bed, and I'm like, what the is going on? And it was so crazy. This is before vapes were out. It was a little white, looked like a vape, and you would hit it, but it'd be like this. Like a little bit of smoke come out, and I remember them like uncuffing me, and then they give me the Thorazine shots.
Right.
Bro, I would be walking around like a zombie.
Drooling.
Bro, at night, I would hear screams all night long, just screaming. I'd be like, what the? And then my buddy, rest in peace, Piggy, Jared, he said I called him. I don't remember any of this. It was like somebody, if you just took like those picture books and flipped, like just go, it just blurbs from that week. It was there for a week. And I call him, and I'm like, yo, they're listening. They won't let me out. And he's just like, what the hell? Bro, I was so... And then all of a sudden I come to it. I'm at a train station. And I remember going to light a cigarette. And some kid's like, yo, can I get a cigarette? I'm like, yeah. Don't remember anything. Don't know where I was. To this day, it's a blur. I just remember being in there, getting shot with the Zorzine. And then, bro, they had me so mad. I couldn't... I wanted to escape. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Couldn't even get out if I wanted to. They had me on so much different things. And if you didn't take it, they make you take it.
Right.
Like, there was no, like, no. I tried to, like, no.
No refusal.
Yeah,
Bro,
no.
they kept strapping me to the bed because I kept trying to fight
yeah.
with people. Because I'm like, I don't need to be here. Like, I'm, you know what I mean? Oh, bad. Oof.
Crazy.
We were doing the opposite. I was trying to get out. You were trying to stay in.
It's the insanity, man, the thinking.
So you're getting ready to leave. Your boy stops it. And then, so where do you go from there?
So they end up calling my father. He intervenes, and he offers me a deal. He goes, I will get you a plane ticket from the psych ward to the airport to come right back to New York, but you have to go long-term again. And that's what I did.
Okay.
And so you go to that facility. How long did that last? You complete it?
Yes, I completed it. I went back to that same facility before Florida.
Right.
Okay, so
Same
you
long-term
went back to-
facility.
So you complete it.
So
and
I'm
then
there for like another 4 months. I complete it, and from there I
Come
go
back to Long Island?
I go to a sober
Oh,
house
yeah.
in Jamaica, Queens.
Oh, this is epic. This story is...
Yeah, man, you do got those stories, bro.
So,
Yeah.
so
Alright,
I
now
end
you're
up in
Queens.
Jamaica, Queens, and again I have no program. I'm bringing myself with me. I'm not ready, and I do okay for a little while.
Right.
But before you know it, I relapse. And the rule there was if you relapse, you get another chance, but you have to leave for 48 hours.
Okay.
So I called my sister. She's living in the city. And I said, hey, the sober house I'm living in has bed bugs. Can I come stay with you for a couple days? No problem. I go and do that. I come back from the house to the house. And now it gets to a point where, I'm continuing to get high. I get caught. Now I have to leave. They have another sober house in Brooklyn. So they still are trying to offer me help. Right? They're not kicking me out on the street. So they're like, we're going to move you to the Brooklyn house. And it was a lot worse than the Queens house.
I'm sure it was not in the best part of Brooklyn.
From Jamaica to like Bed-Stuy.
I knew the house. I knew the guys in it. Great guys in it, but like the neighborhood was horrible. And the living conditions were really poor. The Queens house, the living conditions were pretty nice.
Okay.
So I wasn't going. And I had already called the lawyer prior to this. And I knew my rights. And I ended up squatting. Right? So I tell them I'm not leaving. They say, okay, no problem. They call the police on me. And I'm like with a smile on my face, drugs in my pocket, because I know what's going to happen. The police show up. They said, hey, he's in our sober house. He signed a contract. He's actively getting high. We're asking him to leave. He's not leaving. And the police defended me, right? And said what I already knew. The only person that could make him leave is a judge. So they were like dumbfounded. They ended up moving all my roommates out of my room, thinking that's going to make it worse for me.
it
ended up making it better for me. Right. Then they tried to remove my furniture, and the police got involved again and defended me. And they said, that is his furniture as long as he's living here. You cannot touch it.
Oof, New York State.
So they hated me. And before you know it, the whole house was getting high.
Because now everybody knows, hey, Wes got away with this.
Yeah,
that means
right. And not only that, Wes isn't paying rent.
Yeah,
so they take me to court, and I speak with their attorney, and he's trying to make a deal, because I know it's costing them a lot of money to go through this process. And I said, give me $5,000, I'll leave tomorrow. And he said, no, we're not doing that because everyone's going to do that. And I said, I'll sign an NDA. Still didn't want to do it. So he goes, what can we figure out here? So I said, let me stay here for 6 months to a year for free. And no problem. That's what we do. So
it would have been cheaper the other way.
Oh yeah, they
probably.
Didn't foresee what was about to happen.
So I signed that, and I forget if it was 6 months or a year. It was one or the other. And throughout that process, the FBI raided the outpatient affiliated with the house, and they also, when that happened, they stopped paying rent on the house. So it just became a total flop house.
It went from a sober house to a trap house.
So now
real fast.
Now what's going on with the other house? They start getting high in the other house too?
Yes. Same thing happens in the other house. They stop paying rent in the Brooklyn house, and there was a 4-story apartment building of all attics.
Oh my God!
Years down the road, it was still a flop house, and I spent time there. Got high in there, like years later.
That's wild, crazy. Bro. You basically.
Yeah.
So what you would have stayed for 6 months, now you're staying for a couple of years.
Yeah. So I ended up staying a lot longer than I should have, and then I get on medicated assisted treatment.
Methadone.
Suboxone in my case.
Okay.
So I get on Suboxone, and I'm doing okay. I'm not using anything else but Suboxone.
Still no solution though.
Still no solution. And I end up moving in with my sister in Crown Heights, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I get a job with a fitness company as a sales associate, and we're opening up a studio in Park Slope. And I ended up setting these excuse my language, these national records.
Really?
These sales records.
I believe it, bro.
Right. I went from a sales associate to the head of sales.
I'd love you in my office.
Then they had a studio in Williamsburg that was in the red. So, and now I'm out of my sister's and I'm back on Long Island, but the job is going really good that I stayed and started commuting. So they said, we'll get you a car or an apartment, you choose.
Oh wow! So now your life it's looking out for you.
Because now they want me to go to Williamsburg. I'm like, that's further commute. So I picked the car. And I ended up going to Williamsburg, and I turned that studio around. So now they give me the keys to the studio and make me the studio manager. I end up moving to Williamsburg, and I went from studio manager to the director of sales for all their studios in Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn.
Wow. And how long of a span was that?
That
a year.
That I got all those promotions?
Yeah.
That was all within 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You can really conquer, bro.
Yeah, that was all
Sky's
within 1 year,
with you,
and I stayed with that company only for like 2 to 3 years because I ended up relapsing in Williamsburg.
And then what do? You go back to Long Island?
So yeah, I relapsed in Williamsburg, and I'll never forget this either. I couldn't get drugs one day, so I go on Craigslist at the time. This is when Craigslist was still out, and I found dog
Can't
food.
make this up.
Dog food, yes. Code word.
Hop a bus and I go to the Marcy Projects.
Oh God.
Sitting on a bench.
Shout out to the dude that put dog food on Craigslist.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I called this one guy in the city, but like it was very obvious this was a setup. He wanted me to buy weight. It was a setup. So I'm still thinking the Marcy Projects, whoever this guy is, like I'm still paranoid, thinking this could be a setup.
Yeah.
I am not lying to you. I'm on a bench. A kid rolls up on a Razor scooter. Couldn't be older than 12 years old.
Jokes.
Right? Gives me a head nod. I give him a head nod. And I'm texting the dude, and he's like, "I'll be down in a minute." So I didn't know if this was him, if this was someone he sent. I've never talked to the guy. It was only through text.
Yeah, you have no idea.
So he goes, "What you need?" And I told him what I needed.
A little runner.
I give him the money. He gives me the stuff. He asks me if I want to go in the hall and try it. So I'm like, "No, I'm good." And I'm like in my head, I'm like, "He asked me that." I was like, "It's legit." So he goes off on his Razor scooter.
Kick, push.
I open it up. It was movie tickets wrapped in a rubber band. I started crying because I was that sick.
You wishing you would have tried it.
So upset, right? I go back to Williamsburg. The kid hits me up, "Where you at?" And I'm like, now I call him.
Yeah.
And I flip out. He had nothing to do with it. It was just some random kid in the projects that did this to me.
Oh, he knew you were there.
So the kid goes, "Where do you live in Williamsburg? I'll come drop it off." So now in my head, I'm like, now I'm robbing you.
Yeah.
Right? So he takes the subway, comes, meets me in Williamsburg. We walk around my block like twice, and he has a conversation with me. And he's like, "All right, I just want to see if I could trust you." He hid it in a flower pot throughout, like, while we were walking.
Yeah.
So
Homeboy knows he's
then
done.
he picks it up, gives it to me, and you had to. I lived in a trapeze studio from the 80s. It was converted into an apartment, so it was like 50 foot.
Talk about a place to live.
It
Yeah,
was like
wow.
50-foot ceilings, and I lived. Yeah, it was a wild place. It was really fun, and I knew you had to get through 2 doors to get to my apartment. And like, if you got through the first door, it would be a little confusing to know which door I actually lived in. So I said, "Listen, I said, before I pay you, I want to try one to make sure this is legit after what just happened, right, in the Marcy Projects." He's like, "No problem." He gives me the whole thing. I thought he was going to give me just one. He gives me the whole thing. I go in there, I shut the door, I go in the second, I shut the door, and I just text him, "I called the police. Good luck." I didn't call the cops. That's what I texted.
Get him out of here.
And I just sat in my bedroom and just got high and was like, "Oh, I hope he's not outside. I'm just gonna hang out here for a few hours."
See, I used to do weird stuff. I remember, like, I would go. It was like this guy and this girl. I used to like. I would have like different areas I would sell. I would go to like re-up, restock, right? And I would test people. Always test people. I would leave like a bun on, right? So I left it like this, say like sideways, right? And I gotta go to my car, grab something. Right? I go to my car, come back, it's like this. So somebody's been moved. I see it. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "You guys ever tell me something?" They're like, "No, what are you talking about?" I'm flicking it. It's supposed to be 10 bags. I'm flicking it. I'm counting as I'm flicking it. I'm like, "You sure you're not tell me nothing?" They're like, "No, what are you talking about?" And then I would just flip out. And I'd be like, "Oh, yeah? Why is there blah, blah, blah missing out of this?" And I would be like, "All right, now you give me the money. And whatever you took is what you get to keep. And I'm taking it with me."
Yep.
And if I went back and that was there you go for free. Now I know I can trust you. Same thing with money. I put money in like a pocket jacket. I'm like, "I gotta go get something. I'll be right back."
Right.
Come back, and if that money was in there, I would take care of you another way. I wouldn't tell you it was because of that, but that was like my test.
Right.
Test your character.
Listen, people test you just to see where your head's at.
That's it, man. Because like, listen, and especially when it comes to a girl, like if you, like I never understood that.
That's the grimiest.
Like, listen, if you would burn me over a girl, and talk to me and do something like that, what would you do if shit got real?
Yeah, seriously.
What would you do if shit got real?
Right.
Like, listen, if I do the crime, I pay the time on my own. I don't throw you or you under the bus. That's what's wrong with this generation. Listen, I'm not condoning crime in any way.
We talked about it, those people that got loyalty on their phone
Respect.
that aren't loyal.
No.
You know what I mean?
And like this is
broadcasted, you definitely.
and
not.
like listen, I've been a big proponent of violence, but to people that deserve it. Like, okay, if like I always looked at it, if you're in this inner circle of selling drugs, doing drugs, like blah blah blah, like it's all fair and game. I'm not messing with the dude that works the 9 to 5 and that has no part of this.
Did you see Wes Watson got locked up?
Oh, Wes
Yeah,
Watson.
I saw that.
Listen, that man, I used to watch his videos too. And be like, yo, when he first got out, he used to be in the park doing his videos. I'm like, oh. But then something triggered me back then, and I know you would understand this. Nobody in prison is that rah-rah. You don't be cursing at people, bucking up to people like that. Because, listen, I don't care how big and strong you are. They will send a hit squad at you and will tear you up. I don't care how big you are. And him, he's in a lot of trouble. He'd be claiming AB.
Now you go in there, they're going to...
Yes. And you know
like
what?
Matter of fact, now they're going to be like, putting that work,
And
Wes.
guess what? I knew somebody pulled his paperwork. Shout out to Jake, what is it? End of sentence. Jake, what the hell is his name? 1090 Jake. Sorry, we're going to tag him. He pulls a lot of paperwork on people. But anyway, it wasn't him. I don't know why. Somebody else pulled up because I was a level 4, level 3 in California State Correctional. No, you weren't. You were out of state prisons. Level 2. Like, bro, don't. It's like, bro, we have the internet.
Like,
Yeah, you can look
Why are
anything
you
up.
trying to be somebody you're not trying to
like
be?
when we were in treatment, that one dude.
Oh yeah, I got 6 years.
That had different stories. I was in the box with my devotion. Like, no, you weren't, bro. You didn't even go.
Listen, nobody. It's not a cool thing to go to prison or jail. It's not cool. It's not fun, kids. But like, if you do it, be prepared.
But what's crazy is like people don't even know. Like, yo, you could say you've been to prison. I know your name. I put it in the website. I don't know if you've been to prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like, listen, and like, if you rat, like, listen, I know it's a different game. And listen, everybody's different circumstances, but. Listen, if you want to play with fire, you're going to get burned, but don't take out a whole group of people or take out somebody that, you know, like say like I'm doing something. I'm not even part of your thing, but I drag you into it.
Right.
And now I set you up.
But it's also the thing, like, stop saying people snitching without the paperwork, too.
Yes,
Like
that,
too.
and it's also like, listen, if you, like, they're taking it to the extreme with certain things. And like, majority of people are civilians.
Like, all right, so like, 6ix9ine. I understand why he did what he did.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And he wasn't with the business, as I call it.
Right.
He wasn't on the business, okay?
Right.
He wasn't part of that type of time.
Right.
Listen, I'm not talking, like, I get the user. Like, if you're just a user and a drug addict, yeah, okay. Like, I was big part of selling drugs and doing violent crimes, but to other violent people. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, that's a no-go to snitch on somebody. But, like, if you're not part of that lifestyle, it's not snitching. You're just a civilian. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like it's like...
If you claim to be about that life, be about that
then
life.
be about it. If not, just mind your own business, keep it moving.
So Wes, so now you leave Williamsburg, you come back to Long Island, right? And you go on another run.
Go on another run. I find myself homeless, and I'm looking for a safe place to get high, so I think emergency rooms. So I start going to different emergency rooms at different hospitals.
I don't mean to laugh, bro.
Yeah, no, this is what I did. You could laugh about it today. And
Can't
so,
make it up. He wasn't playing about changing the hat mid-episode.
yeah, no, he wasn't.
All right, so now you're going to emergency rooms.
that's what
just
I'm
in
doing.
case you have an OD, they could come and save you.
I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just thinking, where's somewhere busy in the middle of the night that I can, get high and walk around and just like, because I have nowhere to go, and that's
Right.
warm.
Right.
And it was winter, and just one day came where I just, the best way I could
Where on
describe
Long
it,
Island are you right now?
right
as this is
now
going
I
on?
am in Bayshore
Okay.
at
All
the
right.
time. This
Okay.
is where I get this feeling where the best way I could describe it, I was just like spiritually empty.
Spiritually bankrupt.
Spiritually bankrupt. I had no desire to use anymore.
Sick and tired of being
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I didn't know what to do. I just knew I didn't want to get high, and I called my mother, and she was like, "I'll take you to a facility," and that's what I did. And I went to a detox. I was there for like 2-3 days, and then I went to sober living, Eastern Long Island, and I kicked in the house.
Okay.
And I was ready to take any suggestion that was given to me, and that's exactly what I did.
Okay. And so now you're ready for recovery.
Now I'm ready for recovery. I'm going to meetings. I'm fellowshipping. I got a sponsor. I'm doing step work.
You're working the
I'm
program.
working
So
the program.
is that what brought you to where I just where I met you, or
No.
did you? Okay, so you go on another run.
Yeah, so I did that.
What brings you to another run? You stop going to meetings.
Exactly.
You get some things back.
Life got great. I answered an ad in the sober house and was administrative assistant at this construction company. Became an assistant project manager, then a project manager, then an operations manager. Then I got into architectural engineering, and life was great. I got the apartment, I got the car, I had everything.
You know what? You know what I noticed about a lot of us, especially like, dude, the way you bounce back is amazing. Same with you. Same with it's like, you know what? It's almost scary. Like I always say, like it's insane the bounce back.
Yeah.
Like my biggest attribute is physically. Physically, if you just think I was doing what I was doing like a month to 2 months ago, and then you see me today, people are like, what? How? How's that possible? They don't understand how progressive the disease gets and how effed your life gets. Like I like to burn everything to the ground.
Same progressiveness works the other way.
That's what I was trying to get
Absolutely.
to. Yes, like what you put in is what you get out. Like same with the gym. Like
Yo, think about this, bro. You can wake up broke, 6, 7 in the morning. By noontime, you'll have a pocket full of money and drugs.
yeah,
No job.
yeah. You could work
Matter
it
of fact,
off.
you can make more than somebody that has a job.
Yes.
With no job and a habit, right? But then somehow it's about learning to tap into that, but use it in
positive ways. You know what I mean? And like it seems like you were very good at doing that. Like I feel like you have so much potential. I'm not just saying that to gaslight you because you're sitting with us right now. Like you are. That's why I heard you speaking there. I was like, I'm like, dude, he has something special about him.
I'm like, I wish you would come work at my office.
Yeah, I know you would think that.
You would be great.
Yeah, like I love the quote, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers.
Listen,
That
man,
is awesome. I heard you say that. Yes.
I say this all the time.
People that I've met right in this process are some of the most talented, amazing people that have like so much to offer the world.
Listen, another one that goes along with this: the hottest fires make the strongest steel.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
Message.
I like
Message.
That one too.
Message.
So after I got all those things back, I didn't think I needed recovery. I didn't think I needed meetings.
It's weird. The thing that gets you there is the first thing that we.
Yeah, you want to kick that to the curb right away.
That
You like
could go.
It's so easy to forget how bad things were.
Yeah.
When things are going great.
That's also the problem.
Right.
That's what I learned myself, and I guess you guys can relate 100%. The quicker I bounce back and the faster things get better, that's why now I'm trying to like pump the brakes. Every day when I get a little too big for my bridges, I pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, this can all be gone like that. Like, chill, bro. Chill.
Right, one bad decision, and I'm right back.
Like, it takes forever. Like, I call it the brick house thing. Like, it takes forever for me to build a brick house. I need a gym, I need support, I need meetings, I need a sponsor, I need
it takes a long time to build a
and
solid
then all of a sudden,
foundation.
it takes one bad day to bring that whole building
And on
crashing
top
down.
of that, it's also having people in your life that are adding to the bricks and not
Yes,
taking.
yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because that can hamper you too. Because so it's like the two. There's a couple of things, right? It's what are you doing for yourself, but also the people that you have around you. Are they helping you? You know what I mean?
Are they hindering
are
you?
They for you?
Yes.
You know what I mean? If they're not for you, like, and that's one of the hard things I had to do is like let go of people that I have love for that are no longer for me.
Yes. Like
know what I
you
mean?
got to change everything, and
Right.
change it for the better. And listen, like certain people, you just got to cut the cord. Snip.
100%.
That's it.
Listen, sometimes the best gift you could give some people is the gift of goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly the way you said it. There's only one thing we need to change, and that's
It's
everything.
Yes. Listen, and it's like, do you want this? This is what I say to myself. Do you want this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you really want this? Because listen, you can go back to the old life, and what's gonna end up? Dude, I've been to so many institutions, jails, all this. The next thing is death, and there's no coming back from that.
right.
There's no hitting the repeat button.
Which is why,
There's no.
You
That's
know,
it.
that's
It's
why,
game
like,
over.
Like one of the things that I've incorporated in my recovery this time around is our podcast.
Yes,
Every week.
yes.
Consistency.
Yes.
Consistency is, and anything you're consistent at, you will excel.
Even like
at.
calling my I never really had a sponsor, or if I did, I didn't really use it to my full advantage. I call this guy every day. Shout out to Frank, but I call same name, but I call him every day, man. Even days I'm just tired, I don't feel like talking, and you know what? At the end of that conversation, I hang up the phone. I'm like,
You feel better.
I feel better. When I talk to you guys, I feel better. When I go to the gym, I feel better. When I hang out with my girl and that goes good and that's a good day, or family members or my mom, my dad, my cousin. I talk to my cousin Frankie I try to talk to him every day. And, he's like my brother. Like you get off the phone and these days I'm tired. I don't feel like talking to anybody. I don't feel like dealing with anybody.
100%.
And then by the end of that day, I'm like,
That's something
Awesome.
you know, and I work with my sponsor, right?
Yeah.
Now he hasn't been there. His old lady went through an operation, surgery, and she's not doing too good. So he's been home. I mean, I text him every now and then, but it's like now I'm at a point I have to differentiate between this is work and this is my sponsor, right? Because I talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
But not all of it's about recovery. You know what I mean? So now it's setting aside that time, and I felt short the past couple days. You know what I mean? I call instead of calling him every day, it's been every other day about recovery, but I'll speak to him about work all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like to be able to see that now. You know what I mean? And be like, oh, okay, this is what I need to work on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. So you go on. So you get some clean time. Stop going means you go on another run, and it gets shorter.
No, because I had some money, right? I had
Okay.
some savings because I was doing
That
really
helps.
well for a few
Yeah,
years.
that
so
usually delays the process.
I lasted a little longer, so I went on about a 2-year run.
Okay,
Wow.
but this is a 2-year run of you supporting not doing all the let me jokes here, let
Correct,
me do this.
correct.
So
Yeah.
now you're paying for your habit.
Yes, now I'm paying for my habit with my own money. I have my own apartment, and until I lost it all again.
Of course.
And I ended up back in treatment where I met you two guys.
You know what? Listen, I don't know about, like, I feel like this time, I know it sounds cliche because I've been there a couple times, same place, but, like, this time I feel like it really clicked. Like, I participated more. I seen you guys do the same thing, and, like, I don't know. I never have that come to Jesus moment where I'm like,
Well, it's also
aha.
like,
But,
you
like,
know,
it's a spiritual thing on a daily basis.
I shared the night before I left, right? And I was sitting right in the front and I was looking at the house, right? And I was like, you know, I look around this room and I see different versions of myself, right? I see the version of myself that was sitting in the back thinking this was a joke. You know what I mean? I see the version of myself that didn't want to talk or say anything because I thought I had nothing to give, right?
Contribute, yeah.
So, like, I saw all different parts of me. You know, I saw the part of me when I was in a treatment center, and I was acting like I've been to prison when I never been there. But then I ended up there.
And then to your
was a
ass is
yeah.
there, and you're like,
So,
oof.
yeah, you're eligible too. That's my thing with that, right? So like I saw all these different versions of myself, and I sat back and I was like, damn, man, some people are gonna be back. Some people won't make it back.
Yeah,
That's
You know
the
what I
crazy
mean?
it's sad
part.
to say, but it's true.
And good, like,
and then I noticed the people I gravitated towards, people like you, people like Jay, you know, people that were really.
and shout out to Jay. Every
Doing it.
morning he sends me a
Yeah,
text,
shout-
bro.
Jay
Top
is
of the,
consistent.
Shout out to
Jay is
Yeah,
consistent
sure.
to the
Yeah,
core, bro.
He
Shout
hit me
out
up-
to
he
Jay.
hit
He's
me
a
up
great
tonight.
guy.
He went to HA meeting right over here.
Oh,
He was like,
really?
Yo, Steve, you can make it. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta re-record the podcast today.
Yeah.
So all right, so now you make it to the treatment center we were at, which that'd be cool if we could get like they pay for an episode and we give them a little shout
See,
out.
the only thing that worries me is the HIPAA thing.
Yeah,
That's
right,
I mean, we can shout out. Maybe we could deal with them and just talk about the place, but
Right.
nothing to do with the clients
Well,
because
it's
you can't do
the
that.
same thing with recovery. We could talk about it, but we dance around.
Yeah,
it.
we don't
You know what I
bring
mean?
up what
Like
goes
the
on.
the people that watch this have been in
If you
recovery
know,
what
you
we're
know,
talking
type of
about.
deal. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's in a church basement somewhere.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. It's not, that's why you don't see
Number two.
meeting here. I'm
That-
OCD,
you know,
ladies
that's
and
why
gentlemen.
one of my favorite quotes I heard was like, if you believe in miracles, you go upstairs. If you want to in church, if you want to witness one, you go downstairs. That's one of the dope.
And like
Someone shared that the other day, and I thought of you. I was like, I heard that from Dan.
My man,
Yeah.
50 grand. So all right. So now you make it out to treatment center, and now you're in a sober house, right?
Yes.
And it's a great sober house. I know the people that run it. Clean sober house.
Yeah, clean, beautiful sober house. Shout out to WithWorks Recovery. They really set up a stable, safe environment.
And it's like I said, it's a clean house too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're still filling it up, but there's a TV in every room, which is unheard of.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no,
nice.
Yeah, it's not
Which
common
is
for sober
unheard
houses.
of, bro. And then there's a nice living room, nice couch, fireplace, right? There's a fireplace.
Yes, there's an electric fireplace in the living room.
I mean, bro.
You couldn't ask for a better setup.
Like, so shout out to Joey Center, right? I was talking to him because I was thinking about possibly going there or whatever, and he was like, "Yo, listen, man, what me and Sean did, where we put into the sober house what we would have always wanted in a sober house."
that makes sense.
And I think that's a lot of how you have to do a lot of things is, in order to help the people, like, think about what you were lacking, right? Same thing, like, I'm sure with you, like, raising kids, right? Try to give them the life that you didn't get, right?
Yeah.
And you try to, like, just each one, like, help pay it forward. You know what I mean? And help the next people. And, I think sober house is a wonderful thing to get into. It's something I'm thinking about doing is to, like, get the money to open up a sober house, a woman's house, a men's house, maybe the parole house.
Listen,
She'll
if
be
this ever
protected
take
by
if
all
this
three.
if this
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
takes off, like I would love to do something, help do a big give back. Like like if we get
100%.
financially set, I would love to do that.
100%.
And like people that helped us along, you know what I mean? Like anybody, you know what I mean? Like obviously you're gonna come on more than once because your story is so much different.
Oh, and there's so
Parts
much
to it.
There's so much shit that you probably left out. Too.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
We
we
talk
can't
about
touch on
so
everything,
much,
and
right.
but that's just cool because
And
it's
also
like.
some things will come to like.
Yes,
Oh, I
like
didn't
dude,
know
there's
about
stuff I want. You guys seen the new Spider-Man trailer? I know
Oh,
you.
yeah,
Like Brand New Day, like ooh.
I can't wait for that.
Like, you know what? The only thing that they didn't show, which I'm kind of cool, they didn't show everything. They didn't show Savage Hulk, who's supposed to be in it.
Yeah.
They showed Bruce Banner,
and
and
the
they didn't show
Punisher.
they didn't show Jean Grey either.
Yeah,
They showed the Punisher
other
in
Yes,
thing
they
that-
did.
Like, so who's the Chinese guy? Ned, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed in the comics. He's Hobgoblin.
Yeah, no, they're not going to go that. So what they're doing is, this is what I think, this is what I heard. So Jean Grey, which they didn't show yet, is supposed to be the girl that played in Stranger Things. I forget her name. So you seen the trailer when everybody remember he opens the door to the tank and then the little lady comes out of it and looks at the guy?
Yeah.
That's going to be Jean Grey. Remember when they showed you, like, it looked like a room in the middle, it looked like a box, and they were lifting up, and you could see it looked like a room setup.
Right,
You seen somebody's legs? That's supposed to be her. She's mind controlling them because that's in damage control facility. So a Scorpion's there and something with that. So remember in the trailer where you see somebody like this with a hoodie on? That's supposed to be her. Because if you've seen the shots,
Sadie Sink.
Sadie Sink, yeah,
Yes, yes.
shout out to her. But so she's gonna be a big part of it now.
Yeah,
How?
and Punisher's in
Because
that,
remember
right?
when Bruce Banner, if you see on the board when he's teaching, he's talking about genetics and stuff. So
Yes.
I guess they're gonna just bring up the mutant genetic, that's
Okay.
X gene. That's how you're gonna tie in her to it.
Now with Ned, because when he gets Strange's ring, he could open up portals. So
Yeah,
is he going to
right.
become?
No, because he forgot about all that.
Oh.
That's all blacked out
Yes,
now.
you're
Yeah,
right.
so he's just back to they
Right.
kind of dance around that.
So the whole thing basically is they know who Spider-Man is.
Yes, they don't
know
know.
who Peter Parker
Yes,
is.
but I think
Yes.
there's a way because that's him writing the letter.
Because he recast the spell at the end.
Yes,
and
but
everyone
also
forgets him.
he kind of I think he could write a letter to her and say I'm blah 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 blah, but I think he was worried about her, because he puts them in danger when they know him.
Right.
So I don't know. I think he's struggling with that. In the
Right,
movie.
So it's gonna be like a little emotional thing.
Yeah,
because
because you see-
she
he's-
gets with Ned in the movie, right?
No, but no.
No, she
It's,
doesn't
it,
get-
there's
no.
a guy. I forget. He's another actor. He's you see him in the kitchen. She's he pushes her hair aside. They're in the kitchen shot.
Okay.
But Punisher's gonna be awesome in it.
Yeah, he's that show.
But
is
see,
great.
that's supposed to take place the same time Doomsday's taking place because Spider-Man's on Doomsday. Well, Tobey Maguire's in Doomsday, not
Right. Variant Spider-Man.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. No, Tom
really?
Holland because
the original one.
No, because
Tobey Maguire,
because what
yeah.
happened? Oh yeah, in the movie too. Now Spider-Man in the comics gets a power up. He becomes more spiderish. That's what happens in the movie when he passes out and he wakes up in the web. So he gets natural webbing now. And he
Okay.
becomes stronger, and that's why he goes to Bruce Banner. So I heard that
So
Jean
like
Grey.
a six-leg spider.
No, they're not going to do that, right? They're just going to make him be more he can hear better, he's stronger, he gets
Okay.
natural weapon.
Oh yeah,
So
because there's different.
I found out,
because
because I'm how are they going to make Bruce Banner back to Savage Hulk? Jean Grey does it.
Ooh.
So she goes into the mindscape, and whatever in the movie happens, and brings that out. So
Yeah, because it's crazy in the credits it doesn't show who she's playing.
do you see
Yeah, they do that on
do you see
purpose.
you see the
She's
guy?
the only one it shows.
You see the guy that Spider-Man's talking to is a black guy in a suit. So that guy he hates mutants. So they're gonna. He actually played the voice. No, where is it? Wait, which guy is it?
You're the one
It's this guy, yeah.
Okay.
Taramel Tillman, whatever. Mr. Tillman.
Yo,
He,
the other guy, this one. What I want them to make is he played Goliath in
Because
Gargoyles. I wish they would make a
but-
Gargoyles.
but this is what they
live
said in the trailer. This is cool. She goes, yes, this is something we don't know. Because, a telepath, you can't, how are you going to fight against that?
Right.
They could tap, they could all be in a room and you could just make everybody change or forget about what happened. So that's what he's talking about. This is something we can't see, we can't fight. This is how we're going to go
as
against it.
far as Doomsday go, because I know they made Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I wish they would have brought him back as Ghost Rider.
I heard stuff about it in Secret Wars, because Secret Wars is when you bring the
Okay.
whole multiverse in.
Right.
That's gonna be
Now you
insane.
can do it because Secret Wars. I guess I heard Toby and Logan, Wolverine and Deadpool are all in the beginning of the movie Doomsday, and I think Deadpool leaves, but you think basically it's X-Men universe fighting Spider-Man's universe, and you think they die, but really they escape to Battleworld. And what happens is if you don't die, Basically, so anybody dies and
pluck
gets
you
brought
out.
back. No. Everybody dies and brings you back. Doesn't remember anything because they get their minds wiped by Doom. Now, if you survive, so I think part of Secret Wars is Tobey Maguire and Wolverine bringing people back to remember that. Maybe they'll have some more characters.
Okay.
But like they're gonna be remnants from the old universe.
Right.
Okay.
And because you need some people to remember. If everybody's blacked out,
Right, and they need to listen. This is who you are.
yes. Shout out if you guys really want to catch up on Secret Wars. Is Comic Explain, Comic Breakdown, Comic
yeah,
Pop,
bro.
Comic Story, and shout out to all of them.
Yo, they do a great job doing it too.
Oh, bro, I was watching Secret Wars, 2015 Secret Wars. They have Time Runs Out to Secret Wars.
Right.
Time Runs Out, how's the incursion start? And it's just so wild. Like, they're going to have, I think, the place of Beyonder is going to be Loki. And something with Loki and Scarlet Witch. Because Scarlet Witch is like a Nexus beam. Anybody that could change reality is supposed to be, because she can change reality on a multiverse level. So that's like a big thing. So I think Doom uses her power. Like you see, like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, the pictures. They have, like, people that with Doom in the movie, that one guy has a third eye, like he has a Doom mask on, but a third eye hole. That's Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange and Doom.
Strange at the end of Doctor Strange too, he has the third
So
eye.
I think I heard Scarlet Witch and a couple other people hidden under masks that are working with Doom.
Right.
So
I saw that. I heard about that too. What did you think of Fantastic Four? I didn't like it.
wah, wah, wah.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Galactus,
You know?
bro. First off, they
should've been a
made
lot bigger.
Doom like Sue. They should have had Doom in there. But then I get
They had him at the end.
Yeah, but they didn't show.
You know, like-
I heard Robert Downey Jr. not even going to show his face
He's like
during
looking
the
over
movie.
the baby at the end, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
during Doomsday, they're not going to see that it's him. So like we're going to see as the audience, but you're not going to see it.
So the other characters aren't
Yes.
going to know that's in their mind. That's Iron Man.
No, they're not showing that. So they're not going to see
No,
that.
but
Oh
we know.
yeah. But I'm
We
saying I
do
thought
know.
they were gonna like
Right.
I thought maybe Spider-Man would see him like but no, I think they're gonna because
Yeah, 'cause I thought that's how it was going to be. I thought Captain America.
no, because that makes sense now. Every character that would see him, you have to explain
Do you
it.
think they're even going to shoot him without a mask on?
No, they're gonna do it when he's with the rest of them, like his little minions and like his castle. They're gonna show you what happened. But because if you didn't do that, every character is gonna be like.
And they had like little Easter eggs that Latveria, and he was going to be in it in Moon Knight, right? So there's a scene.
Yeah,
in
but
Moon Knight
his
where
wham
you
is-
see V Von Doom.
But that Doom comes from a different universe. Supposedly, Stu Storm and Franklin Richards is his kid in that universe. And then he did a experiment. I don't know if it had to do with the incursions. And what happened was he got blown up. That's why he's all scarred. And the suit keeps him alive. And his wife and son, which was Sue and Franklin in another universe, they got killed. So that's why he
So
wants.
it's the same thing like Scarlet Witch was doing in her movie.
Yeah, but
where
this-
she was going to try to get her kid.
But it's different because Sue in that reality is his wife and Franklin's his son. So that's why he wants to go after that Sue and that Franklin because that was it was
Right.
the same one just in a
Okay.
different reality.
Okay.
So it's gonna be interesting, but like Reed's a big part of that. Like
Right.
I seen the concept art or like the art they leaked out, and it's like you see like Reed he captured him and Sue's next to his side and Franklin's there.
I saw the fan art or the artwork.
It's like concept art for the movie,
Yeah.
Secret
So-
Wars.
So I mean, we're definitely going to be having Wes on to discuss that.
Yes.
I shot a text to Robert Downey Jr. and he said that he would, providing we're still doing this and we're clean, he has his time. When it comes out, he would come on, which would be
Imagine that.
Dope. I met him. Did I tell a story on episode 3? Or not 3.5?
Episode 3.
Okay, so quick story how I met him. It was my first NA meeting. I went to a rehab in California. My aunt helped me pay for it. I get down there. Quick story. It was in 2 mansions, guy mansions, girl mansion. I'm like, whoa. So I get down there, like the guy's house is booked. I'm like, all right, I don't have to go. They're like, no. We're gonna give you the downstairs room in the girl's house. I'm like, what? Boom. I get there. There's a personal chef. What do you want for breakfast? What do you want for lunch? What do you want for... I'm thinking, this is rehab. This is awesome. I can do this. I can do this every so often.
Yeah.
Right? So we go to our... now they tapered me off Suboxone. This is when the Suboxone was really new. They didn't really know much about it. I tapered off. I was sick as a dog. We're at a big NA meeting. I'm talking celebrities there. There was a celebrity. I forget this guy. He was a black comedian speaking. And they go around the room. It's different than in New York. And they ask you where you're from, because I guess it's people from all around the country. And they get to me, and I don't know. I'm like, Frankie, Oxycontin, New York. Everybody starts laughing. I'm like, you son of a... Everybody's laughing. I'm like, fucking joke's on me, right? So then fast forward, at the end of the meeting, we get up, and I'm looking for one of these girls in the van, and I'm like, I see some guy in front of her, and I just mush him out of the way. And I push him. I'm like, go, let's go. And I feel somebody tap me on the shoulder. And I turn around. I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh my God, this is when Iron Man came out. I'm like, wow, it's Iron Man. And he's like, hey, you're Frankie, the kid that said Oxycontin from New York. And I couldn't remember what we talked about, but it was just awesome.
Yeah, that's when he blew up.
Yeah, but it was
again.
awesome. Like that, if it could come full circle and I can meet him, I'll bring up that story. I highly, highly doubt he'll remember me from back then.
That would be full circle.
Or even Kurt Angle's in recovery too. He talked about if we get 6 months.
Listen, so like clip this. Like anybody that watches this, right?
Yes.
If you would be a good guest, or you know somebody that would be a good guest that kind of follows our theme, or would contribute something to the podcast, comment their name, tag them, have them DM us, please. And guys, make sure you subscribe, click the notification, click that bell.
Listen,
right?
the further this goes, we're gonna keep upgrading more cameras, more studio. Like we're gonna more podcast episodes. Like we're gonna bring more guests.
Word.
Like
when it gets to the point that we get to the next level of this, we're gonna have more than one podcast a week, 100%.
Yeah, so then we could do like a Marvel podcast. We could do a movie podcast. We could do like a MMA thing. Like then we could have a recovery podcast, like just dedicated to that. And then we could really branch off, have more guests on, have like shit. One of the shows you could be on, like a permanent guest. You know what I mean? Like have like a 3-man setup. Like dude, the sky's the limit, and we're gonna
are endless for you guys.
Possibly is endless, and like whoever, like I said, whoever helps us, we're taking them to the top with us.
I mean, and on top of that, listen, it's gonna be with the epic thing is like, yo, you got that award for being our first guest, bro.
Yes.
Like,
and dude, thank you so much because we had 2 other schmucks that backed out.
Yo, so listen, so Fred commented on the podcast.
Oh, did he?
And he thought, because last time I said, we had a guest and he canceled, and then we had another guest and he canceled, and you were like, what a schmuck, right? So he thought we were talking about him. And I was like, no, Fred, we weren't talking about you.
No. You gotta remember, Fred, it's taped on a Saturday. It doesn't drop till that following Friday. Yeah. So a lot of stuff happens in that time period.
But shout out to you, Fred. You definitely
what's up, Fred? Great dude, man.
Guest. Good. He would be a great guest, man. He's funny as hell.
I know. He'd be great to have on. That's like a whole different, dynamic.
And I'd love to hear his story.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
I would love to hear his story. So, listen, man. As far have you figured out your social media yet or no?
No, I don't really use it.
He's got a Facebook.
I have a Facebook.
What's your
page,
name on Facebook?
Wesley James.
Okay, Wesley James. Shout him out. We're gonna be once the episode we get the clips. We're gonna be tagging him on all this. You know what I mean? The studio we're in, tagging them. Like we're gonna get better. We're getting better and better with everything. Doing our own clips, our own edits. Soon we're gonna have spliced in things. Like when we talk about something, boom, they'll come on the screen.
Like that 9/11 one. It showed the tower.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like this is all. Like remember, we're only going on episode 3. Right. And like, please, guys, watch the long form, like our full episode. The clips are doing good, but the full episode we got to get up there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we have no advertisers yet. Like that's our goal, to get paid advertisement through the episode. So like, whatever. It's
either we need to get a certain amount of watch hours.
Yes,
a certain amount of views.
Yes, we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we're over. We're at 1,010.
Ooh, let's check it right now. Let's see what it is right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
And shout out to everybody helping us on this journey.
Shout out to everybody that shows love.
The third episode.
The third episode didn't even drop yet.
Subscribers.
1,010. Yep. Total subscribers. We're moving on up.
Moving on up, baby. So listen, at Project Mayhem Podcast on Instagram, Real Project Mayhem Podcast on Facebook, on Snapchat Project Mayhem Podcast, on TikTok Project Mayhem Podcast. On Trends Project Mayhem Podcast. We don't got a LinkedIn yet. But yeah, and then mine at Casper's Cauldron _ between Casper's and Cauldron.
And then I am the _ real Mr. 1987 or Frankie Anthony DeLeo.
And what I'll do is
I'll pop on Facebook
and then Instagram. I'll post these on the clip for this. And yeah, man, we're definitely gonna have him back. I think you did wonderful.
Thank you.
They don't know, when he was on the first time, you could tell within like the first 5-10 minutes he was a little nervous.
Yeah,
guys.
I had no idea what I was.
I saw him and I was just
like,
I kept looking at him and be like, yo, me and Dan will guide you through this journey. Like,
yeah, listen, you guys, did great for just going right off the rip, unscripted.
Like we didn't talk about this in the car. We were just hanging out, catching up.
There was no prep. I had no idea what I was walking into.
There's no script here.
And what's crazy about it is like you don't, you can tell you honestly, you don't even know there's a camera on.
No. No, not at all.
Like,
It's
you-
like we're just hanging out talking.
Like, other than
That's-
the fact, like, there's a microphone, there's a mixing board here, there's stuff that can
Like-
record you, but you forgot about it.
Yeah,
completely.
I don't want the podcast to be like, hey, Wes, so on, on September 3rd, 1985, what were you doing? Like, okay, yeah, like, no, this just wants to be like a free flow conversation that we're going to, bounce
What
around
I
the
love-
topics.
What I love about this time is, like, because I was telling him, I was like, we never really got to the end of how he got to the sober house.
Yes,
now.
yes, we
And
didn't
you were
tie into
able to
that.
Tell it
all the way
You know
through.
what
And
I
then
mean?
we come back, we could, fill in the dots, do an update, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
you're at, you know what I mean? And also, like some episodes, like the Wolf of Wall Street one's going to be awesome this weekend.
Yeah, man.
And then the Father Dan, I want to hear about the exorcisms. I've been
Yeah.
dying for that. That we have questions set up for him because that's a big guest. Like, we got to hit certain topics. It's like,
Right.
but
Well,
we're never going to have a
it's-
script.
It's also something they ask. Is that like
Yes.
in order to have him on, I had to submit a list of questions that we're gonna ask him. We're gonna cover all different things. Where what made him go from Long Island to, or what made him go from being a guy from Long Island to Wall Street to becoming a priest. Like,
Yeah.
how'd that happen?
How that, yeah.
And then also, like, just things about what he's witnessed so far as being an
Ooh,
exorcist.
I can't wait.
Because there's one thing to become a priest, right? But it's another thing to become an exorcist.
Yeah, that's wild. I'm looking forward to
Within
that.
And like I want to do a cool one. I was talking about somebody go to Pilgrim State, drive around, and then the biggest one, do a paranormal hunt, ghost hunt.
Right.
Like I can't wait to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So I think
We're gonna get a cat. Like we're gonna get a real camera
Also, what
eventually.
I'm gonna do-
I'm gonna get me getting tattooed. We're gonna live stream that.
What I'm gonna do is, or maybe you do it.
What?
You get an Amazon and create a wish list for the podcast. So if anybody wants to donate things that we need,
Oh,
for the
that's not a
podcast,
bad idea.
That's a
we
good
can do
idea.
that.
That's
you know what I
cool.
mean? That way, you don't gotta send us money, but things that we can
Yeah,
use
it's just
to
stuff we're
update
gonna
this.
use towards this. We don't
like a
yeah.
vlogging camera would be nice.
But then eventually when we do live streams, we have the super chat option, or members option. Then you can support us in that way too and donate just to that.
Patreon.
Or we gotta do Patreon. Patreon, by the way, we're going full bore. Like we're talking about everything we can't talk about on here.
Yeah.
It's cursing. There's gonna be a lot of chaos. Project Mayhem, controlled chaos at its
Control.
finest.
I like it. I like it. You
Yes.
got any other closing thoughts?
Well, I love this man right here. I'm so happy you did part two with us.
Love you too,
Yeah,
brother.
On
Yes.
top of that, thank you, man. because
Thank you for
took
taking time out of your
took
day,
time
man.
out of
Really
your day
appreciate this.
To redo it. I mean, then again, it would have sucked just having video and no audio. For you to come back and you did a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you seem much
you
more
come
relaxed.
back-
I
Got a
was-
fresh
I
cut.
knew what I was walking into.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Thank you for having me. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to anyone out there that's struggling.
Yes.
There is hope.
And listen, you can reach out to us. I'm talking about send a message
Yeah,
anytime.
like,
We will. I know I will respond. He will
I
respond.
will respond.
Even Wes will. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
and even though we don't necessarily name the treatment centers we've been to or the one we were at that we all met each other, if you message us and you need help, we
Yes.
will point you in the right
We
direction.
will guide you there, man. You can hit us up at any
'Cause-
time.
'cause-
I will respond. Hit me up on my
listen.
messenger, DM, whatever.
Listen, we're all a testament of our own lives that there's a way to get past it, right? But it's just all about you got to take the first step, even if you feel like you don't have a leg to stand on.
And it's all about the give back, man. We're here to help. Like people have helped us, we're here to help the next person.
Which is another reason why I like that we started this right out of treatment, right?
Yeah.
The first week we were out. Like I got out on Monday, we did it Saturday. You
Yep.
got out Wednesday?
No, the day after you, bro.
Tuesday.
Yeah, me and
And-
him both got the same
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Same
Yeah,
day.
I mean that's cool. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's almost like a month late. Next week's a month that we've been out. You know what I mean? And just the things that we're doing. And so what's next for you, Wes? What are the plans? What do you
know
want
what?
to do?
I'm for the first time in my life, I'm taking it easy, taking it one day at a time, and
love
like
that.
I'm confident that everything's gonna work out.
100%.
As long as I do the right thing, everything will fall into place. I don't know if I'm gonna go back into the project management world. I don't know what's gonna come of that, but I'm just confident as long as I do the right thing.
Do you
it'll work
have
out.
a goal or like a dream or like
Yeah.
ideally? what would
So
it be?
like a dream of mine, I'd love to be a father.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
my
good
man.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My man, 50
I got
grand.
3 kids.
I love that too.
join the
No,
club.
That's awesome. That's something I'm looking forward to. When my girl gets out of prison, man. No. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that would be a wonderful thing for you too, because like, just from what you discussed, like your father lived vicariously through you, and now you could just be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily say this is what you got to do.
Right.
This is what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And just to, we could be there for the people that
Yes.
that because my parents did great. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, they did the best they could with me. right?
And I feel the same way. Like my
Yeah.
father had it tough growing up, and he did the best he could with what he knew.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So I appreciate everything.
Like
that
honestly, shout out to our parents. Like shout out
Yeah,
to my
shout
mom.
out-
She's
shout
had
out my mom
surgery
and dad.
today. Hope she's doing well. My dad's like my boy. He's my best friend. Like shout out to my cousins, my aunts, uncles, my grandfather
Listen,
who's
I
going
mean,
through it right now
you
too.
told me your mom had surgery, right? So
Yeah.
my father went to the hospital a couple years ago, right? And he went in. It was like December 3rd or something, right? He goes in and he had this something wrong with his lungs, right? He's never smoked a day in his life, right? And it was to the point that like if he didn't get a transplant, it was like sayonara, right? He was there like 23 days, bro. Got 2 new lungs.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Shout out to New York Presbyterian Hospital, bro. It's one of the only hospitals in New York, guys, if you guys need a transplant, where if there's a lung or something, some type of something that you need that's available in Kentucky, Arizona, North Dakota, they fly surgeons out to take a look at those organs and bring them back. It's one of the only hospitals, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now my dad got like a new lease on life, you know, and it's cool because
That's amazing.
now I'm really like utilizing that time with him. And, you know, because I didn't really, I was more looking into the streets when I was growing
Right.
up. But the beautiful thing about my father is he showed me how to be a good husband, how to be a good father. He showed me by how he lived. He didn't have to say it,
Mm-hmm.
how he lives. You know what I mean? So, shout out to you, Dad. Yeah, so I'd love to have you back on
Yes.
when you got a girl that's pregnant, man.
Yes.
That's gonna be awesome.
And I gotta
So-
use the banya. So
Yeah, so we're over now. Thank you guys for
thank you
tuning
guys so
in.
much. Project Mayhem
We're gonna be
podcast.
back here in 4 days
Yep.
to do
The
episode
Wolf of Wall
4.
Street.
And Wes is gonna be back when Spider-Man comes out in May, so he'll be back in May.
Yeah.
It might be June or July.
Well, I'm back before that. Then.
Whenever it's going on, he'll definitely
Yep.
be back. Anytime there's any type of comic book release movie, Wes is our guy. We're gonna come on
Let's
and
do
it.
we're gonna do the thing.
Sounds good.
You know, he's the first guest, so he gets that privilege.
Yep.
And which is awesome. You could be a recurring person here, and there's a lot of comic book movies, DC and Marvel. So we got to get our comic book.
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right,
Yep,
guys.
let's
Have a
do
good
it.
night. Thank you for
Have a
tuning
good
in.
one.